Super Bowl 60 Friday. How you doing in one of the greatest weekends in pro football and one of the greatest weekends in Americana? The Super Bowl. I mean, it's the biggest event in American sports. It's actually the biggest event in America. National conventions, Republican, Democrat, political, Grammys, Oscars, pro football destroys everybody. And this is what and why I love talking sports. The Washington Post can end their sports section, but guess what? They want to talk about dumb shit. Pro football, sports in general, it's one of the greatest things to ever bring Americans together. We got the Olympics tonight too, opening ceremony of the Olympics in Italy. I love that as well. Anytime you can get nationalism and anytime I get to see the old flag and old glory, I'm ready to rock. Love seeing Americans support their country. I love seeing Americans definitely play for their country. I love it. One of the greatest weekends, man. Olympics and the Super Bowl. We got that all here, man. Last night, the NFL Honors. That was a pretty dope show. I love Stafford coming out with his 4 girls. I thought that was pretty cool last night. He also said he's coming back for the 2026 season. So many things were on the line last night. We'll hit in that. Most notably, though, your Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, by the way, M. Reyes, you are correct. That is one of the only sports that I believe that I could still compete in, okay, is curling. You can actually be drunk. Now, me getting down on a knee right now might not be an issue for me, or be a tougher issue, I should say. But doing the whole thing with the, with the broom and shoveling and all that, I don't know. I think I could win a gold medal doing that shit. How you doing? I mean, like, right? Oh, we're going to get there. Seals, the Dickerson's potential retirement. Change the draft also. I think Stout becomes Texans O-line coach. Good grief almighty. Kyle, thank you for the supers. My friends, please hit that like button. So, yes, now we have a new casualty. Landon Dickerson. And who, by the way, let me say this, and let me do this with great pride. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world in sports talk? Big Sills. 13 injuries, I told you. 13 injuries Landon Dickerson has had. I said this to you guys 3 days ago. That dude's never going to be the same. He will never be the same. Now we're talking retirement of a 27-year-old guard. I mean, how about this? The 2024 season may have done more harm on the Philadelphia Eagles in winning that Super Bowl than ever before. And maybe anyone actually thought in what that cost the football team. Think about that. Your line, you may lose 2 people off that old line going into this year. Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson. And then you'll have a shell of a dude in Cam Jurgens. Your offensive line would be in tatters. And then on top of that, you lose Jeff Stoutland. I'll ask you again. You think you're a Super Bowl contender? You're talking about potentially a dude calling it a career at 27. Calling it a career. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that that's not a place you want to be right now. Is having your offensive line have to be rebuilt this offseason. Absolutely. Happy birthday there, Flexin. We appreciate you always being here each and every single day. Absolutely, you get one. All right. Big Z's going to join us. My friend Mike North, the legendary Chicago sports talker and one of the greatest sports talk hosts in American history. By the way, Angelo and Howard Eskin were fabulous yesterday, both those guys. The legendary Philly Godfather would join us. That'll be at 5:30, and you now. All right. Dude, this is some week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Till soon, you will be the king of Philly sports talk, dethroning Eskin. Keep up the great work, bro. Thank you. Those are great compliments. And it's been a privilege to be talking sports in Philly and else places. It has. It's been an honor. Because you know why? I've talked sports in so many other cities. Like, I'll tell you this. No disrespect to Tampa. And I love Tampa. I love it. I don't know if I would talk anywhere else but Tampa on the radio. But the sports there compared to here, night and day. Night and day. It's just, there's always something, especially, I'll say this to you about your Eagle team. That Eagle team, there's something new every day. There's just something new every single day. All right? All right. I'm going to make a statement here, and I want you guys to tell me if you think I'm off base or I'm on base. Hit the like button here. Some of you are going to get upset here. Some of you may not. Are you ready? Okay. Did Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job in Philadelphia? I think he did. How many people in here believe Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job? No. You disagree? Yes. I'll give you my take why in a minute. How many people in here believe that Jalen Hurts? Now we're getting somewhere, Paul. Now we're getting somewhere. How many people in here believe Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job? Definitely no. I think Sirianni did, but Hurts helped. Plus, he has disrespected craziness. Here, guy who completely disagrees and is a knee dragger for the team. Knee dragger. I think Saquon dancing at the line, low floor, med ceiling output this year, got him out of here. A little bit of that's true by the knee dragger. You're overanalyzing it, Sills. Have you ever thought Stoutland just wanted to retire? He's not retiring. He said he's going to continue coaching. Stoutland isn't retiring. Where in that world did it say Jeff Stoutland retired? I think you've got your guys crossed. Vic Fangio's talking about retiring. Stoutland is not retiring. Nowhere, anywhere did it say Stoutland's retiring. Here's where I'm going with Jalen Hurts. So, did Jeff Stoutland stop Jalen Hurts from running? And let's ask this question. How much do you think Jalen Hurts not running this year and not being the dual threat quarterback hurt the Eagle run game? What do you think? How many people think that Jalen Hurts hurt the run game himself by not running this year? Yes or no? Do you think Jalen hurt the run game by not running? Yes or no? Okay. So wait a minute. Now you guys are starting to do this. Well, wait. Okay, hang on here now, guys. Hang on. All right. Stoutland pretty much got pushed out, and the proof is the Eagles already hired someone to take over the run game. Yeah, they had a guy in mind already. Ian Rappaport said that Stout is still in the building. Stoutland is not coaching the offensive line, and he's not part of the run game. He could still be a consultant. He's going to take it. Jeff Stoutland's going to coach again. He's going to coach again. It ain't going to be in Philly as long as Nick's there. Sorry, Sills. I mean run game. How about this? So people agree that Jalen Hurts stopped running this last year, right? It was one of his lowest output years. Okay? Well, Jeff Stoutland, you had injuries and the quarterback not wanting to run. I mean, what can he do with the quarterback not wanting to run? He can't make Jalen Hurts fucking run. So Jalen Hurts, in essence, expedited Stoutland and his exit and him being pushed out of the coaching staff. Hurts is responsible for it too. Right? Jalen didn't want to run. And he doesn't want to run anymore. Hurts lost his step, got paid, won't run anymore. Okay? How is that Jeff Stoutland's fault? I mean, how is that on him? Like, by the way, what do you think a new run coordinator is going to do when you have Landon Dickerson? By the way, let's do this. Let's say Landon Dickerson does come back. Landon Dickerson will never be the same. If Landon Dickerson comes back in 2026 and plays, Landon Dickerson is nowhere going to be anything near the Landon Dickerson of 2024. He's nowhere near that any longer. I think Jalen knew the O-line was effed up. So that cost Jeff Stoutland his job. Then, right, Leon? That cost him his job then, right? Shields, the only O-line coach I would bring in is the San Francisco O-line coach. Coaching almost 30 years, was with Dungy in the O-line in Tampa. What's that guy's name? I forgot. What's that guy's name? He was there. By the way, yeah. Who brought him over there? I forgot what that guy's name was. He was with Tony Dungy. I forget that guy's name. What was his name? Oh, the guy who has drug issues. Chris Forster. He's a fucking great coach. He had a drug problem. You know what? And I like him. He had a drug problem in Miami. And he had to step away from the game because he had a cocaine problem. He's a great coach. He is a fabulous coach, man. Seals, I did some research 10 years ago. The average age of an NFL coach was 54. Today it's 47. The league is trending to a youth movement. That could be. You see it all over, especially in the head coaching position. Absolutely. Mike Munchak's a great one, too. That's a great call there. C North, that's a great one. Guys, hit the like button. Seals, you and Zander were completely wrong on Tet McMillan. Hawaii pride, brother. I said he sucked. I thought he was the only wide receiver that was in the draft. I don't remember saying anything. What did I say negative about him? I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. By the way, just because you won the Rookie of the Year award, was it a really great crop of wide receivers? Let's see what Tet McMillan did this year. For you to say that, I'm wrong on him being a rookie. Let's see here. Tet McMullen. Arizona State. Let's see what he did this year. For you to say that I'm wrong this year. Let's see what he did in his rookie season. What did he have? What was his numbers? He had 1,000 yards. Okay. It's a decent season. I thought he was one of the only weapons that they had in Carolina. I thought he was, hey, that's not bad. A rookie year. It's not. Both you and Zander said he wouldn't pan out. I called, when did I say he wouldn't pan out? I never say that. I never in a first year of an NFL draft ever say that because I make it very clear. The Monday after a draft, I never say if a guy sucks or not. How would I know? It takes 3 years to figure out whether a player's great. So, Gabe, that's a fucking lie. I never in a million years ever say if a player's good or bad or give grades after the fact. Most of those guys don't even have helmets or shorts yet before you can even make an assessment on them. That's ridiculous. I make that comment all the time. Like when the Eagles draft coming up in April, the following Monday, I'll never tell you if it's a bad pick or not. I'll tell you if I like a guy or not. I don't know if a guy's going to pan out. Dean's first 3 seasons were a bust. They were a bust. And quite frankly, Leon, you tell me, if he doesn't get a contract extension, do you think it was a good pick? How about this, Leon? If the Eagles don't extend him, do you think it's a good pick? Yes or no? If he doesn't get a second contract in Philly because he's missed 24, 51 games over the last 3 years, do you think that's a good pick? If you think missing half of your games is good, so you think that's good. Leon thinks missing 24 of 51 games is good. All right. Well, Leon, you and I will agree to disagree because missing half your job is not a good pick. Still, thoughts on the clip? Doug was telling someone that they drafted Jalen to be a starter for them, and soon Eagles lied about him being a backup. Boy. So wait a minute, Jason. Let me ask you this. So you gave Carson Wentz a $30 million deal. You draft Jalen the following year. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I would spend my 3 picks on an O-line if the board falls that way. Hopefully 2 of them would be plug-and-play guys. Who said it's okay? Who said it's okay? Seals, how good is the kid from A&M? He's kind of short. I liked him this year in the SEC. I thought he was really good. Seals Malott on Radio World was almost in tears regarding Stout. Kelsey had the same sentiments. He made those guys. How about this? Like I said to you guys, Jalen Hurts in many ways cost Jeff Stoutland his exit. He cost Jeff Stoutland his exit. I'll tell you this, too. I took some things away from Birds 365 today from John McMullen I'm going to get to here in a minute. So, I mean, boy, is 2026 shaping up to be the year that will do this. How about this? It's shaping up. Bullshit. So, Jalen Hurts not running. I'll ask you one last time, guys. He says it's bullshit. Let's see how many yards Jalen Hurts ran for last year. And see if he affected the run game. So Jalen Hurts. What did Jalen Hurts run for last year? Let's see. Jalen Hurts, rushing. Had the least amount of rushing yards by over 300 this past season, running for 400 yards. Years previous, 670, 605, 760, and 784. Jalen Hurts cut it in half. Year previous, he ran the ball 42 times a game. Year before that, 50 yards a game. Year before that, 52 yards a game. This last season, 26. Jalen Hurts stopped running the ball. I'll ask you again. Do you think that Jalen Hurts not running the ball affected the run game? Yes or no? And Reyes says that's bullshit. Well, if the quarterback stopped running, how does that not? And you had a running back that wasn't as effective as the year previous. How in the hell do you think that's bullshit? If the quarterback stops running, who's considered dual threat, how in the world? Okay, here, let me hear it. Damn, it seems like the run game coordinator was screwed. Saquon's numbers were lower too, but the context on it, the entirety of the run game was fledgling. Hold on, M. Reyes, the quarterback stopped running too. How is that Jeff Stoutland's fault when the quarterback doesn't want to freaking run anymore? A lot of his runs got called back due to holding call, Sills. So I call bullshit too. I'm with Reyes. So you think Jalen, a lot? Like how many? 60? Prince, what are we talking when you say a lot? 60? 40? Let me see how many carries he had a year ago. Hurts had 105 carries. Let me read you his carries. So what, 50 carries you think got called back due to penalties? Year previous, he ran for 150. Year before that, he ran for 160. Year before that, he ran for 165. Hey, get this. In 1 year, he had 139 attempts and 784 for 61 yards a carry. Led the NFL quarterbacks in yards per game. Hurts stopped running. Who in their right mind believes that those plays got called back and that's why he stopped running? Holy shit. Excuses for the Jalenites. Hey, I got to tell you something here, and I agree with John McMullen, and I've been saying it since day one of 2021 when I came to work here in April of 2021. When they pull that guy finally, boy, are you guys going to moan? Jeffrey Lurie will be called a racist by the end of the year when that year is. I don't think it's going to be 26. I think it's the end of 27 that this shit's going to come to a head. And you'll be calling your owner a racist for taking him out of the starting lineup. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. This thing is totally trending this way. The owner, you'll start calling him a racist when they pull him and bench his ass. Because you know why? The next topic. I don't believe this quarterback is going to be the fit for the new offense they want to run. They're not building this new offense for Hurts. They're building this new offense. When somebody says this, they want to throw the ball more. They want to have more of a spread offense. Well, that ain't him. They're going to see if Jalen fits it. Because you know what they're building this offense for? The next quarterback. They're not building this offense for Hurts. They're building this for the next dude. They're building this for the next guy. Where in any way, how about this? How many years has this guy been a quarterback? So here, he's been a quarterback since 2020. In 6 years, where in the world have you seen that this guy's going to be a 650 attempt guy and you're going to spread the ball around and throw the ball near 600 times anytime he went over 500, he was a turnover machine. And you think this guy's skill set's going to fit in? And all of a sudden, if this was the case, Nick would have did it from day one. He would have been running an offense that Phillip Rivers ran. Why didn't he do it from the beginning? Why didn't he? Yeah, that's what I do, asshole. That's what I do. That's what I do is race bait. Why? Because that's what you're going to do? Your quarterback can't run this offense. On February 6th, I'll say it today. You can't run this offense, Jalen Hurts. The one they want to put in, never happened. Never happened. I watched that guy in a game you needed to throw the ball against San Francisco, and you shit the bed. You shit the bed. How about this, Leon? What year did you see Jalen Hurts consistently week to week throw the football without dual threat? Name me one year. Never. He hasn't done it one time yet. In his entire career, he hasn't done it. He's done it with his legs and his arms, not his arm. Where in his career as a football player, Oklahoma, Alabama, did he do it? Where? He's never done it. He's not the prototype quarterback that the offense they want to run. When Jeff Stoutland left, it's the beginning of the end. I told you, if Stoutland is still on the team, it'll tell you all you need to know about the quarterback. You didn't hear me last week. Here's another thing we said a week ago. Stoutland's the key. If he's still on the team, they're going to still do the same shit, and they're going to win. But if he's gone, it's the beginning of the end. We don't even know the offense. Really? So you think you're going to be a run team without Jeff Stoutland? Prince, you really think you're going to be a centric guy? And with the fact that you may lose Lane and Landon, and you've got an injured offensive line, hey, by the way, I know I'm dead on with this. That guy can't do this. Here is bold prediction number 1 for make sure Zander on February 6th. February 6th. If Jalen Hurts throws the ball for over 600 times, he'll lead the NFL in interceptions. Yeah. Can't keep throwing to the numbers, kid, for 600 attempts. That means you got to throw across the middle. No Goddard? Goddard ain't coming back. Shit, we're not even sure AJ's back. And you're going to throw the ball 600 times. And you're not going to run the ball as effectively as you did. Okay? You got 23 INTs? I got somewhere between 18 and 20. If you throw the ball for over when you threw the ball 538, what was it? He had 15 picks. What was the year? 538. He had 15 picks. You throw the ball 600 times, he'll have 20 picks. That's who he is. He never led the league yet, so that'll be a first. There you go. So how are we going to throw the ball so much with no AJ and Goddard? This is what Senor, this is the offense you're bringing in now. What do you think you're doing when you get rid of a guy like Stoutland? You're not going to have it's not going to be run-based. This is going to be throwing the ball. Barkley already hinted at retirement last year. I think Saquon's got 2 more years left. I think this is going to be a 2020 year. I do too. I got you winning 7 games. And let me write that down. I did that on February 4th. I'll say this, between 7 and 9 right now. I got the Eagles winning. Between 7 and 9. Seals, if Jalen wants to be a drop back passer, what's he going to do? He wants to be a drop back passer when he grows up? It'll never happen in Philly. It'll never happen in his career. Do you know that you still have people thinking that he can do this when he's never done it? And if this was the case that the Eagles thought he could, wouldn't they be doing it? Nick Sirianni is a passing coordinator. He's been one his entire life. Kellen Moore was a passing coordinator. They came to Philly, they became run coordinators. Do you know who I think the run coordinator is in Philadelphia? Nick Sirianni. That's who I really think the run coordinator is Nick Sirianni. 2026 will be the beginning. I heard John McMullen say something, and now this is why we're going all in. John McMullen, who covers the team, and I think he's one of the best reporters. And correct me if I'm wrong, Zander. John McMullen said, hey, the owner likes him, but the owner doesn't look at that player the way he once did. That's known in the facility. And the reason that they're revamping this offense now, I don't believe they're building it for him. I think they're telling Jalen this. Either you're going to go along with what we're going to do, or we're going to find somebody that is going to be able to play in this offense. That's my take. When I heard McMullen say that, they're not building this offense. Guess what? I think they're hoping that it's Jalen. But if it's not, they'll go get Sam Darnold or somebody like him. Plug him in there and go win games. I'm telling you something. That guy in Seattle has changed the way a lot of organizations are looking at the quarterback position. I could get a $37.5 million guy and run an offense with good coaching and a good system and great players, and I don't need to spend $50 million bucks. If I have good coaching, a guy like Mac Jones in the Philadelphia Eagle offense, to them, that's what they're looking at. To me, I'll tell you what I would do if I were the Eagles. If I'm going to make these drastic changes, I would go to the San Francisco 49ers and say, I'll give you a third for Mac Jones, and I would put that guy's ass behind Jalen Hurts. And if Hurts in 2026 can't run that fucking offense, I'm putting that guy in, and that's the beginning of the end in 27 for Hurts. The Eagles hope, I think this, I really do. I think they hope it's Hurts. I think they hope it's Jalen. Guess what, folks? There's too many massive changes. This is not subtle. This is abrupt. When teams have abrupt changes, that means it's changes at the top, coach and quarterback. This is directional change. They're pivoting. They're not pivoting yet off of Hurts. By the way, this is, as John said, from the owner. They want to pivot away from this style, and they want to be ahead of the game. They're not going to sit and wait for this offense to get caught up. They're just not. They're going to be, Howie Roseman is not going to sit back and wait and see if Jalen Hurts continue to win games the way they've been winning the last couple years. They're just not. I swear, I do believe they pray that it's Hurts and that he can. But they're not going to wait. Great take, Sills. You hit a grand slam. You don't need a $50 million quarterback to win a ring. Of course you don't. Well, shit, keep Tanner then. He'll be cheap and a fit. Okay, maybe they will. Maybe they'll sign him in the offseason here to a contract that'll keep him in the building. I don't know. Listen, Leon, I'm not saying they go like this. John McMullen said that they're not looking at Hurts the same way they looked at him 2 years ago. By the way, do I think they love him? I do. Loving somebody and wanting him as a face of a franchise has nothing to do with whether he's going to be able to play in this new system. I happen to agree. They have made massive changes here. Jeff Stoutland is not just let me get rid of Tracy Rocker. That's not the same as getting rid of Tracy Rocker. Okay? How did they? Get this. Watch this. How did the Patriots get away with it? Because they had 3 years of shitty football. They won 4 games, 3 years in a row. They made the transition from Belichick and Brady and went through 3 years in a shitty coach and Jared Mayo to get to where they are right now. They went through bad, took a step back to take 3 steps forward. That's how they got here. Because they knew they had to take a step back to move 2 steps forward. Because guess what, folks? That's exactly what New England did. New England took 3 steps backwards, 3 shit years. They knew they had to. They had to pivot. They did. Here they are, back in the game again. That's exactly what the Eagles are doing. Okay? Get this, during the Super Bowl again because of this philosophy. You're ripping your staff apart. Explain this to me, too. Explain to me like M. Reyes a dumbass. How do you give the keys to an offensive coordinator that basically has never done shit in this league? And the only thing you're taking is word of mouth that he's smart. What is that? Once again, you're giving the organization the benefit of the doubt that the guy's a nobody. He's a fucking nobody who people talk highly about. Okay? Get this. That's who the guy is. He's a nobody who people think highly of and interviewed great with Nick. Okay? Get this, what I'm saying to you. That's not an opinion. That's who he is. Guy's been a coach for 25 months. And you made him offensive coordinator. Okay? Why? Because Nick and them are going to change to the way Nick likes to throw the ball. Spread offense. It's time to move on from these old straight head coaches and OCs. It's what they're doing. By the way, let me ask you something. Again here too, Andre. Hurts is not a drop back quarterback. He's not. Lamar Jackson's not a drop back quarterback. Josh Allen is not a drop back quarterback. They move around in the pocket and they do off schedule shit. That's who those guys are. Matthew Stafford is a pocket guy. That's the kind of offense Nick's going to run here. That's what they're doing. You cannot run a West Coast offense with the way Jeff Stoutland ran the ball. Okay? You need an who's the offensive line coach? Let me see this here. Okay. Ryan Wendell. Anybody know who that is? Anybody know who that is? Ryan Wendell. Anybody have an idea who Ryan Wendell is? Anybody? Ryan Wendell is the offensive line coach for the Los Angeles Rams. Where did he play his ball? Anybody? He played his ball in New England. and he was in the Josh McDaniels pocket passing offense. They ran the ball with Shoney Michel, and they ran him like in sprint options and stuff like that. Very little zone read. It's kind of the same thing that you see with this kid from Notre Dame that runs now. That's the role. Barkley's role is now limited. They're going to limit his role. Barkley will be around 222 carries, 204, somewhere in there. But they're hoping his yards per carry are going to be around 5.5. It's more going to be important for him to have yards per carry than it is going to be about volume of carry. They don't want volume of carry. The Eagles don't want a 38 carry game anymore. They're getting away from that. They want a 38 attempt passing attack. That's everything Hurts is not good at. He's not good at that. We've seen it on display. Now, to what they wanted, what they're hoping for is they're hoping that Hurts can adapt to it, because he's one thing that Jalen has been great at, and I will give him great credit for this, is that he's been able to adapt with multiple and different styles and different coordinators. No question. However, what's the one thing they always do? When they find out he can't do it, they revert back to what his skill set is. The Eagles don't want to revert back. They want to move forward. Here's their attitude. My opinion, they're going to do what New England did. If Hurts can't do it and the season goes to shit, here's where you are. You're going to fire Nick. You're going to move on from Hurts, and you're going to be creating a new offense. And you're going to plug and play a brand. They may keep, you know what? They may keep Nick and move on from Hurts first. Why would they fire Nick at the end of the year if they're moving away from Jalen? I disagree with John McMullen. And to some extent, I don't know if Zander was on that point, but I don't think they're going to fire Nick if the thing goes south next year. If you're changing an entire system and the quarterback can't do it, why would you hire a brand new coaching staff to bring someone else in to do something that you want to do when you've already tried implementing where you want to go in the future? You fired the quarterback, not the coach. So let me get this right. Nick Sirianni's got 12 months to put this offense in, and if it doesn't work, he's out. Then they're going to try to do it again with a different coaching staff and a different quarterback, but they want to get to the same place. Why did you just fire Nick now? That doesn't make sense. Follow me here. Yeah, I'll do it slower. So what people are saying in Philly, some people are saying this in Philly. So Nick, if he doesn't get this right, will be fired at the end of the year, which means this: they want a higher volume offense in passing. They moved on from Jeff Stoutland. Okay. They want to throw the ball as much as they can, right? So if it doesn't work, they're going to fire Nick and not the quarterback? And they're going to come back with a new coaching staff to do what? Coach a guy who can't do what they want? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Ramir, what makes you think all these players and coaches leaving that a new quarterback is going to come in and do the same with nothing sounds like more of a rebuild? No, I think it's a pivot. I think it's a pivot away, okay, it's a pivot from what they're doing. Sills, this is how I would rebuild the O-line. Sign Seumalo in free agency, then get Proctor round 1. Round 2, get a guard from A&M. Okay? Listening Listen to what you're saying. I am. I'll say it again, Prince. So let me get this right. You're going to change the entire offensive game plan to a passing attack, knowing full well the quarterback can't. Okay? You're going to fire Nick, keep the quarterback, hire a new staff to do what? Shit he can't do? Why don't you, what do you mean it's a new scheme right now? What do you mean? It's a new scheme that the quarterback can't do. Prince, he can't fucking throw the ball from the pocket 38 times. What are you not understanding? He's never, ever, except for the high volume turnover year, a new coordinator? It's not just a new coordinator, dude. It's a new approach. What do I know? I'll tell you exactly what I know. When you change the type of coaches that you changed out, you're going in a completely different approach in how you're going to try to win games. Get this. Oh my God, it's not Nick Sirianni. So why keep him? What do you mean it's not Nick Sirianni? So, okay, once again, folks, this is what Prince is not following. They're hiring a brand new coaching staff almost. O-line, passing coordinator, run coordinator, the entire overhaul. They overhauled the entire offense for a brand new scheme that they're hoping the quarterback can adapt to, knowing full well he can't. In 6 years, he's never done that. They're hoping he can. And if the quarterback can't, you're going to fire Nick and then do what? Hire another coaching staff to do the same thing, knowing full well the quarterback can't adapt to that scheme? I think you need to listen to yourself, guy. Sills, if you're right, then this isn't the make or break season for Nick, meaning Nick is safe. Well, here, Bob, ask yourself, Bob, do you get what I'm saying here? So they got a brand new, they have completely revamped the entire coaching staff just about, right? I don't even know if the quarterback coach is back. Everybody is pretty much like gone. They have basically rebuilt the entire offense. Why would they do that? Because they've changed their philosophical approach and how they're going to win games now. They're getting away from the 50-18 record that they combined because they think that thing's out of gas. Here, Bob, let me ask you this. Remember when Greg Roman was folks, I want you to follow along. I know many of you can't, but I'm here to help. Remember when Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator in Baltimore? And in 2017, what happened? Lamar Jackson won his very first MVP with Greg Roman. He was an MVP. Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator in Baltimore. John Harbaugh and everybody went like this. We need more from the passing game. I think he had 1,100 yards rushing that year. We need to bring in a guy that's going to help him evolve in the passing game, being a dual threat guy. So what did they do? They fired Greg Roman. They brought in Todd Monken to elevate his passing game, which it did. And it won him another MVP. He threw for 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 5 picks. It improved his passing. They wanted to get more out of the coach, out of the player. So they fired the OC and brought a brand new coaching staff in. That's what they're doing here. Now, the difference is this. Hurts doesn't have the same skill that Lamar has. Lamar is one of the most gifted players in the history of the sport. Again, I get all the stuff in the postseason. Nobody is as talented as Lamar Jackson. The guy's a superstar. However, playoff stuff, seeing the game, pressing, all of that, I get it. I got it. But as a talent, he's a spectacular player. He's just, I mean, there's very few people that ever played the game. Like Randall Cunningham shit like that. That's Randall and Mahomes and guys like that have all that skill. Correct. Well, that's a fact too. Yes, mentality does. That's why Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl. You bring up Oklahoma. I'm not sure what you're talking about, guy. No point in having a dual threat if you don't use their ability. That's the point. They're not building this offense for Hurts. They're building this offense for the next dude. If it's not Hurts. I have never before seen anyone with only 2 years coaching experience. I've never seen that. Brandon, that's a great pull by you. I've never in my entire life ever seen a guy with 2 years coaching experience total become an offensive coordinator. I've never seen that. I mean, when Sean McVay got the head job in Los Angeles, he was the offensive coordinator in Washington. I've never seen that. I have never in my life seen a guy who's been a coach for 24 months become a head football coach or become an offensive coordinator. That's not true. Kellen Moore was first a player. Mike McCarthy was calling plays, dude. Here's Kellen Moore. You guys are out of your minds. Kellen Moore? Here. Mike McCarthy's the play caller, dude. You can have the title, but that doesn't mean you're calling plays. You think there's an offensive coordinator in Los Angeles with the Rams? No, it's Sean McVay. So here's Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was a quarterback coach in 2018. Then he went and he became the offensive coordinator under Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was the freaking play caller. He was the play caller in Green Bay. The same way Andy Reid was the play caller. Andy Reid was the quarterback coach in Green Bay, and Mike Holmgren called plays. That's title alone. Manning has never coaching and play. Manning had more coaching and play experience. What? Manning had more coaching? Manning was a position coach, and then he was like a tight ends coach. This is worse than Doug hiring Press Taylor. I mean, Sills lied about that, y'all. Lied about what? Yeah, that's what I do, Prince. I fucking lie. Sills, check out some of Manning's interviews prior to the signing. He sounds the part. Dude, great. He was great in interviews? And you're taking the word for what? That he was good in interviews? So wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me you think Mike McCarthy? No, he called plays the final year in Dallas. That's what got him fired. Then Mike took it back over again. The last year in Dallas, he did play call. And that's why they fired him. And they moved off of him. Jason Garrett was coaching Kellen's first year. Okay? Dude. Kellen Moore was a passing coordinator also in Dallas, not a run guy. He'd never coached a dual threat guy till he got to Philly. Why will the Cowboys defense be good then? Parker has zero experience as a play caller as well. Who said they will be? You're assuming that. Okay, guy, whatever. Seals, watch the East-West Shrine game. He called plays for the West team. Okay? Hey, good luck. Didn't Nick take over the run game, play calling like you said? Why was Stout pushed out? Because they no longer want to run and want to be a run-first team, a team that's a first-run option. That's what I'm telling you. They want to pass first. I know, senor. I know. That's exactly right. Hurts is not a drop-back guy. It's a great comment here. I believe it'll come. But get this, no press conference. I like it. So you hire an offensive coordinator. Shit, Mike McDaniel had one in Los Angeles. You know, he was up there answering all the, I've seen almost every single coordinator that's been hired. Didn't Christian Parker, I hear you, senor. Didn't Christian Parker have a press conference with the Cowboys? Let me check. Cowboys. Christian Parker. Let me just go Dallas Cowboys. I thought the Cowboys had a presser for him. Let's see here. I thought he got up there and I thought he's answered questions already. I thought there was a press conference and there was an introduction on Christian Parker coming. There may not have been. I don't know for a fact. Here's Christian Parker. I don't know if I see a presser. There may have been somebody. I don't know if the Cowboys. I don't think I see a presser yet. So maybe that's not that uncommon here. Why does Howard Eskin think the offense won't change? Because of the quarterback and blame us, the fans, for its change? He's off his rocker. What are you talking about? The offense is going to change. Dude, the firing, I'm going to say it, the firing of Jeff Stoutland it's a monumental move. That's right. The Cowboys haven't got their full coaching staff together. That's when they usually do that shit. You're right. You're correct. You guys are right. Hurts does not have the spread to outrun the defensive backs. I don't blame him for not wanting to expose himself and get hurt. Come on. I get it. Sills, you're not making sense today. Okay, I'll make sense again for you. It's not making sense because you don't want to hear it. I wish we still had Dougie P as our head coach. He'd adapt to the players and really likes Jalen. I'll make this make sense for you. I'll do it again. You're changing your entire approach to how you're going to win games this coming season. This is the things that people were saying. I don't believe this quarterback has the skill to do this. Just as I don't believe that Josh Allen, without using those wheels of his, could be as effective sitting in the pocket and throwing. Now, he is great in the pocket, but what makes Allen insane great is his ability to run 50, 60 yards down the field. His dual threat capabilities at the size of 6'5", 260 creates incredible mismatches. He's not going to win it. He can barely win right now, and he can't win a Super Bowl with what he's doing now with the limited roster he has. What makes you think Josh Allen could win just by the pocket himself? He can't. Josh Allen can't. How is Hurts going to? Hurts' ability, get this, like I said, 2024 actually exposed the entire offense. Because when you had one guy who was so dynamic in Saquon Barkley, Jalen, I kept telling you, didn't have to be great every week. The quarterback could actually stink, and you're still winning games. Nowhere in the league is that. Where a quarterback, if he sucks, you're going to win games. Nowhere. Sills, I think this Ryan McCaffrey guy going to be a gem. I see greatness in his future. We got us one. Based on what, Pump? Let's look at Ryan McCaffrey and see who this guy is. By the way, every single guy you've hired is with no resume whatsoever. Let's pretend something, okay? What does that mean to me? This guy's got no pro experience except in college. He was a quality control coach in 21. He didn't really have a job in 22, 23. And in 24 and 25, he had his first job as a wide receiver coach. Now he's the run game coordinator. So a wide receiver coach in Green Bay is now your run coordinator, and he's going to coach tight ends. Unfortunately, Dallas Goedert is not here. You're not re-signing a guy after making him take a $5 million pay cut. He's a tight end coach? Great. He gets to coach Cal Katera. Now here, why is all of these hires? Put this in context. They're young, they're inexperienced, and there's multiple guys like this. You hire Josh Grizzard as your pass game coordinator. Josh Grizzard just got fired in Tampa. I didn't think he did that terrible of a job. And he worked with Mike McDaniel in Miami. They're going to throw the ball. Mike McDaniel he's a run guy too, but let me tell you, Josh Grizzard got away from the run game a lot. That was the biggest crux of his problems in Tampa. Now, that had a lot to do with Bucky Irvin not being healthy that year. Like I said, I don't think it's a terrible hire. I actually don't mind that hire, the Josh Grizzard hire. I think he's a pretty decent guy, and I think he will learn a lot from what he did in Tampa. To me, the guy that sucked was Bowles. His defense was terrible. So I don't mind it. However, he is more of a Mike McDaniel guy. They're going to throw and spread the ball. All these guys are spread coaches. That means they're going to throw the football. Okay? That sounds like his versatility is unmatched. O-line, wide receiver. Okay. Hey, Pump. Is versatility based on a year of coaching of wide receivers? Okay. Coaching at Northern Iowa? Sure. Hey, no problem. You give him the faith and you're giving him the latitude, no problem. The Eagles are. What's Grizzard's specialty coaching short quarterbacks? Listen, don't think that that's not a thing. I think any quarterback that's 6'1" and under, look, I get it. Drew Brees went to the Hall of Fame last night. Okay, and he's 6 feet at most. And I get it, but 6'1", not me. My guy's got to be 6'2" and up. Got to see over the line. How the hell are you going to throw across the middle of the field if you can't see across the middle of the field? Jalen Hurts doesn't throw across the middle of the field because he has vision issues. Because of the size of the line and the D lineman. And again, I mean, the game is played in space, but the great quarterbacks attack the middle of the field. The Eagles love OCs who never call plays, a.k.a. Nick, and ever OC not named Kellen Moore. Seals Grizzard should give us a shot at Cade Otton because I doubt Tampa will resign him. I like Cade Otton. That would be a nice sign for the Eagles. Brady loved him. That was one of Brady's guys that he developed, was Cade Otton. I don't know if they're going to sign him. Brees compensated for that anticipation. He did. He dropped back 9 steps instead of 7 steps. That's how he overcame it. Kyler Murray can throw it. Is that why Kyler Murray's out in Arizona? Brees probably the greatest 6-foot quarterback ever. Him and Tarkington probably. Yes, I would put that in the conversation. So I'm going to lay this out again here for you. By the way, Zander will join us at 30, and we will talk to Mike North. Then we'll talk to Philly Godfather. You're changing the entire offense. The firing of Jeff Stoutland is a volcanic movement and shift in direction. Completely different. They're changing the offense. And if Hurts can come along, great. If he can't, whatever. Do you remember one thing? I kept asking questions to Jalen, to Zander and everyone. Do they hire these coordinators for Nick, or do they hire him for Hurts? Let me ask you this. Do you think they changed the coaching staff for Jalen skill? All the coaches that they've hired, do you think they've hired them for Jalen Hurts? No. Both? Quarterback can't do it. Jalen, why would they you think they hired a passing coaching staff for Hurts? Based on what? I mean, based on what? What metric have you seen that they hired these coaches and this coaching staff and this passing coaching staff for Jalen Hurts under the assumption they think he can do it? Wow. Completely, like Michael says, delusional. Is Landing retiring still? I'm hearing some rumblings. Some guys are made here to be here a long time, like Lane. Some guys ain't. Bo Jackson was one of the greatest players in the history of pro football. Man, he lasted just a couple years. Some guys, it's just that way. Some guys are here forever. Some guy, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz had a great small run, and it was over. Some guys will have a 15-year career, be legendary, and length of time and all of that. They're doing it for Jeffrey Lurie. Hey, I would say this. You know what? It's about time we started utilizing our wideouts. Do you think these guys had this conversation? Do you think they had a conversation? We got these 2 wide receivers on our team, and we don't use them to the best of their abilities. Sure, they get numbers, but the unit itself is not very good. You're constantly in the bottom third of the league in passing every fucking year. And you've got 2. That never made sense to me. How do you have 2 1,000-yard wide receivers almost every year, and you're in the bottom third in passing every fucking year? How's that possible? Okay, get this. Got us to a Super Bowl because the quarterback ran in 22 and Barkley ran in 24. Well, you're stopping that now. Hurts didn't run in 24. Barkley had $2,000 and like 2,700 yards in the postseason. Now you want to throw it. You're doing something completely opposite of what you've done in the first 6 years of Sirianni. Completely opposite. You might as well bring Phillip Rivers out of retirement. That fits his offense. You know what? This is what Nick's always wanted. I wonder if they sat in there and went, it's time for us to get to an offense that I want to run. And I want to call. Not one that sits for the quarterback. Dude, you think Nick Sirianni's on the line? I think Jalen Hurts is on the line. You have made massive. How many coaching changes have you made? You've hired what? Josh Grizzard. Let me take a look at the Eagle coaching staff for a second. Eagles coaching staff. They may not have updated it because, let's see here. No, they didn't update it yet because I still see Christian Parker on here. Yeah, and they take Vic Fan. Nope, there's Jeff Stoutland. He's still on here. Brand new run coordinator comes in. Brand new passing coordinator comes in. So you got a brand new passing coordinator, brand new run coordinator, and you got a brand new O-line coach coming in. Is that right? The only guy that really hasn't been changed out as of yet has been the quarterback coach and the wide receiver coach. Is that correct? You change the entire offense. When you change the staff, by the way, how many people have ever seen a coaching staff change without the head coach being fired? Have you ever seen that before? And winning 11 games. You won 11 games. You won the NFC East. And get this, the quarterback coach is not returning, so now you got to hire a quarterback coach. You didn't fire the head coach. You fired the entire staff on offense. Chills, Jeff Stoutland left. Okay. They told him, here's your gig. You like it or not? He walked. You tell me what that is. So Scott Loeffler's gone now. So you need now a quarterback coach. Guarantee you they hire another guy with very little experience. Why? Because Nick's calling the shots here. Look, how many guys are they going to hire with no experience? The guy, you know who has got some of the most experience in the coaching staff now? Kevin Patullo. I'm trying to figure this out here. Remember that personal conversation Lurie had with AJ? Maybe this was part of the conversation. Hey, if I'm AJ Brown and I'm watching what's going on, the problem still lies in the quarterback. You know, you can change and repaint a bad car, make it look great. You still got a bad car. You know what it is under the paint job. That's kind of where AJ is. He's not going to be able to run this offense. On a week-to-week basis, he's never fucking done it in his entire professional career. He has never done it. It's 6 years going on 7. And all of a sudden, you think he's going to be a high-volume passer. Wishful thinking. This is wishful thinking. Tanner McKee-style offense? Absolutely. You could make the argument, Mikey, they're building the offense for McKee. Here's Prince. Sills, I think you're looking at it wrong, to be honest. You see, this is Nick doing whatever he wants. Dude, that organization's not going to let Nick do whatever he wants. So wait, Prince, according to what you're saying, they're going to let Nick do whatever he wants this year to self-sabotage himself and not set up the future of the team? So they're going to give Nick the ability to do all this under the premise that he might get it right? Does that sound like the Eagles to you? That they're just going to go on a whim? Sills, I think you're looking at this wrong, to be honest. You see, this says Nick's doing whatever he wants. I see it as Nick losing control. He's losing his guys. Remember his press conference. He's losing his guys. Those guys are being pushed out. They're not losing them. They're firing them. Prince, they have fired almost the entire coaching staff on offense. The only time that ever happens is when a head coach is fired. They have fired every fucking coach except the wide receiver coach on offense. You don't think there's a shift and a change on what's coming in 26? So you fired a coaching staff that won 50-18 in 2 Super Bowls, and you replaced them with guys that are nobodies to try to get the same result? You and I disagree. I completely disagree. I would have benched Hurts. You're not benching Hurts with 3 years on a contract with a no trade. Benching him what? Then you're creating even more chaos. Sills, the Eagles are trading in a monster truck with a big wheel coaching staff for the new sports car. Yeah, get this. And with interns driving it. You know what it reminds me of, the Eagles offensive coaching staff right now? It's like a frat house. It's like fraternity brothers. Where's the football people? Like, who's the football people on offense right now? Shit, when I go over to your defensive side of the ball, Clint Hurt, Bobby King, Vic Fangio, there's pro football men over there. I look over at your side of the offense, it's like a fucking frat house. Don't call them nobodies, because you got to start from somewhere. Hold on here. Yeah, you start with the Jets. You start in freaking Carolina. You don't start with a team that it was on the cusp. I mean, look, so you got to start somewhere? You mean all of them? Hey, dude, I get you got to start somewhere. But 5 new people? Why Philly? Just saying, he had more time than most every quarter. Hey, whoa, Michael, I want this to be known. Jalen Hurts' resume is spectacular. The way they were winning games was not very cool. This is the owner having had enough of it. He's had enough of the way it looks. I got to tell you, Jeffrey Lurie on that 4th and 11 must have been sitting in his box going, we lost to a JV. I'm telling you, that loss to San Francisco was as bad a loss as Nick's ever had. I think that's worse than what the Brady Buccaneers did to them when they blew them out in that first playoff game, you kind of gave it like, well, it's the first time Nick and Jalen were in the playoffs. Okay. But that loss, you lost to a junior varsity team. They outplayed you. They outwilled you. They just were better. And it was a shit. I would say this. There'll be 23 different players on that 49er team next year. And that team that beat you in the playoffs, that team will be completely revamped. Plus, they're getting back their star ball players. Niners are going to be good next year. Okay? They're going to be good. If you don't think the moves that have been made over the last 3 weeks is seismic, you have no idea what you're looking at and what you're going to see in 26. The approach is going to be completely different. Make a prediction to you. First 6 games of the year coming up in 26, depending on how that schedule plays out. Boy, I'll tell you something. That schedule you got, 26. So get this. 2026, you're changing your entire offense. And you got the likes of these teams coming into town here. In 2026. Cowboys, Jags, Giants will be better. Rams, Seahawks are going to be the champs. Texans, Colts are going to be good. Niners, Titans, Bears, Steelers, Panthers. And you're changing your offense in the offseason. Man. And you got to determine whether or not AJ landed in Lane and Goddard before you even get to what you're going to do with Jalen Phillips. Yes, Kuechly deserved to be a Hall of Famer. I do believe Woodson should be in one day too. I do. You said all this last offseason too. Well, I turned out to be fucking right. Rumor is the Eagles are bringing in Greg Olson for quarterback coach. He has 24 years experience, primarily as an OC or quarterback coach. Coach Mannion, Breeze, Golf, Bortles, Carr, Grossman, Garcia, and Bradford. Well, I'll take Golf and Breeze. The rest of them are garbage. Sills, there's more going on than you know. Probably you have a disgruntled wide receiver, one of the best coaches decided to retire, and your DC wants to leave. You technically had a collapse under this head coach. Internally. It's a great take, Prince. You're dead on. This wasn't a record collapse. This is an internal collapse. That's right. That's right. It's an internal collapse. It's not in the record, but it's an internal collapse. When you've got Jeff Stoutland walking out the door saying, fuck it, and you got Vic Fangio going, what's going on? I want to retire. A.J. Brown hates it here. And you're changing your entire offensive approach. I don't know. You tell me. There is an internal collapse going on. You won 11 games. You're 50-18 in 4 years. And all these people want out. Help me understand that. I mean, am I looking at it wrong? Just fire Nick. It's basically a rebuild. You know why they don't want to fire Nick? Because Nick's never going to defend anybody. And the only people Nick is going to defend is the Lurie way of doing things. As long as Nick continues, John might be right after all in this. He answers to Jeffrey. Well, you got a head coach that's going to defend the Lurie way of doing things. And if you don't defend Jeff Stoutland, you're never going to defend anybody. Most coaches I'll give you this. Let me tell you a story about Mike Munchak. I forget. I think he was a Tennessee Titans head coach. They wanted Mike Munchak to fire somebody. Mike said, fuck it, I resign. They wanted him to fire coach. They wanted Tony Dungy to fire, I forget who the coach's name, Clyde Christensen. Tony went like this, not happening. They fired Tony Dungy. Most coaches defend their guys. Nick would never defend a coach. The only guy he seemingly has defended has been Kevin Patullo. Because Kevin Patullo is still on his staff. Who would have thought that? Jeff Stoutland's out and Kevin's still in, the run game coordinator of a year ago. The guy who they were calling run plays and not consulting. They believe Kevin Patullo is a better run game coordinator than what Jeff Stoutland was. That's why they didn't fire him. They demoted him. Or better yet, reassigned him. They're never going to say they demoted him. They'll say they reassigned him. Sills, if Phillips does leave, you get a third rounder back, potentially, compensation pick. Dan, am I wrong for getting 23 vibes with all these coordinator jobs with little to no experience? I remember you having a big problem with that before the 23 season. I had a problem with it last year. I kept asking the question. You know what guys like M. Reyes were saying? Kevin Patullo. And by the way, he'll lie to you now, but he thought it was going to be a seamless transition. Been in the building. He'll lie to you now like everyone else will. Everybody thought that would be seamless. And I was like, I don't. I thought he would have been fired after week 6. But I didn't realize it. That was Jeff Stoutland that was fired after week 6 in his run game responsibilities. Because if you go back to Zander's book, my prediction on Kevin Patullo, I thought Kevin Patullo would be fired after week 6. I didn't realize that Jeff Stoutland was the guy that was fired after week 6. The Eagles do not have an ownership problem. He's a tremendous owner. He's just too involved in it. Eagles are the mob, nothing personal. How you doing? Yeah, nothing personal. This is how we're going to do business. We're going to do business this way, like it or not. I think the media hyped up Patullo last year. I didn't. Everyone else did. 97.5, WIP, Inquirer, people covered the team. Kevin Patullo was the next coming. I was like this. Who the fuck is this guy? That's when Angelo started calling him Bobo. Angelo was right out of the gate calling that guy Bobo Patullo. His buddy. Turned out to be right. By the way, Angelo was on fire yesterday, was he not? Angelo, man. He texted me last night. He goes, how come we're the only guys? I said, I think our channel, though, too. Because now, man, I heard something today on Bird 365. I'm like this. Listen to this. I'm drinking my fucking coffee. I'm drinking my coffee. I heard John go like this. Yeah, the quarterback and the owner are not in the same place they were before I went. Come again? Zander about shit when he heard that. What? I think the words were what? Z, I'm not going to, until I bring in, I think it was really, I'm surprised to hear that. This is a seismic change in approach. Remember we said 3 days ago, you find it odd, 13 surgeries for Landon Dickerson. I remember I made a prediction. I go, do you remember that? I made a prediction. Landon Dickerson will never be the same. Now we're talking about Landon Dickerson possibly retiring. I think they listened to the show. How you doing? Yeah. Without further ado, what has to be one of the most compelling weeks. Shit. The NFL 2025 season has been boring. The NFL offseason for the Eagles has been compelling. Now we got some big sales shit going on here. How you doing? Without further ado, we go to the co-host of Bird 365, our friend Big Zay. Zander.
What's up, Sills? How you doing, brother?
All shaved up and ready to go. You might be auditioning for a new job with the Eagles offensive coaching staff, I see.
No, thank you. I am good on that. I will take my Jeff Stoutland and roll out of there. No, thanks.
That thing has made you a little bit disappointed, hasn't it? It's kind of like it's deflating a little bit when you lose a dude like that, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the team only's got 2 Super Bowls, and he was probably the most important coach in both of them, if you're being honest. He's the only constant from the coaching staff in both of them. So it's a big loss. There's no doubt about it. It's a tough loss. It's a big loss. And it also hurts a little bit more the way it happened. And I think people are going to start to experience this more. Right now, Jeff Stoutland's still an Eagle. He's done, but he's remembered as an Eagle. When he goes and coaches somewhere else, which I can all but assure you that he will, now he's going to be it's going to hurt even more because it's he's still out there, and we're just going to become another pit stop for the coach, and coaches coach in a lot of teams in their career. Most coaches do. Very few have the honor of retiring somewhere and that being their identity for life, and I think that will be Stout's, but I think it'll be a little bit muddier now.
Well, because there was massive success behind it. He wasn't fired for failure. He was fired because now I'm going to go here, Zander. You tell me. Have you ever in your entire life, and I know it's a brief time you covering the NFL for the last 5-6 years, but let me ask you, have you ever remembered a coaching staff being completely overhauled with a coach that's not been fired? Your entire offensive coaching staff has been overhauled now.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened. No, I'm sure it's happened. Has it not?
I can't. Without the head coach being fired?
I'll tell you what, our boy Brandon Howard in the chat asked a little bit ago, is he the most inexperienced? I typed it in on Google. I think I kept it open just so I could show you guys what came up when I typed it in. I typed in Brandon Howard's question. Let me show you guys it. This is what came up. Based on recent reports, Sean Mannion is considered to be one of the least experienced offensive coordinators in modern NFL history following his hiring by the Eagles in January of 2026. I'm like, even AI knows we're cooked. Even AI knows. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on.
All right, Zander, I'm going to ask this now. So do you believe 2026 this offense is going to be a passing offense, yes or no?
I think they're going to try. I do. I think they're going to try, man.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question. Hey, maybe I'm the football idiot. All right, I got John, who's the Mr. Know-It-All, and I got Sileo, who actually played the game at the highest position. I'm stuck between them. Maybe I'm just a moron. But can I ask a simple question?
Please.
Do we have to go to the extremes in terms of, is there a gray area where you can run that style of offense, but not to the extremes that Kyle Shanahan runs it? Is there a way to incorporate that offense? If Nick Sirianni's offense is here and Kyle Shanahan's is here, instead of going like this, can we go like this? Does that exist, or is it full on or bust? Can we throw 27 to 30 times a game instead of 35?
With that quarterback? No.
I think he'd be fine 27 to 30.
You're in the gray area now. 11 wins. Laurie hates gray area. You're in the gray area now.
Laurie's not a gray area guy.
Well, you're in it now. That's why he doesn't want to be here. He wants to either blow with 4 wins or he wants to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know, dude. What do you want? What do you want from me, Sills? What do you want? I can't change the quarterback. I can't change the head coach. They're hiring everybody. They want to throw the ball around the yard, my friend.
All right, hang on here. I'm going to give this to you here.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm fired up about it because Jeff Stoutland's gone, and that sucks. But once we're over that, at least we don't get to watch prevent offense anymore. Like, I'd almost rather watch the Chargers game on repeat because it brought something out of me. It brought some emotion to life.
Okay.
Yeah, you win like 13-11, and you're just like, yeah. You don't even feel the highs of the win.
All right. Do you really believe that Jalen Hurts is going to run this new high-powered offense that you're going to run?
Do I believe Jalen Hurts is going to run it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think he thinks he can do it. I'm not of the belief.
Do you believe that they're building this offense for Hurts or for the next guy?
Well, the next guy's going to be a new regime anyway.
Now, here, let's go down that lane.
I already made this proclamation yesterday.
Wait a minute here. So this is what we're going to do here. So Nick Sirianni is going to change the entire coaching staff, the entire approach. And if the quarterback can't do it, they're going to fire the coach and the entire coaching staff and come back with a new coaching staff and think they could do it with Hurts again?
No. If they move on from Hurts, it'll be with the new staff already. So my point is, if you're asking if they're building it for the next guy, who's they? Nick? Nick's not going to be here for the next guy.
Okay, so they're going to rip the coaching staff and the quarterback out like they did for Wentz and Doug.
Well, remember, they wanted to keep Wentz.
Well, they ended up ripping it all up.
Well, because Carson wasn't having it. You think Jalen's going to be like, I'm not playing here anymore. You got rid of Nick.
He's going to go through firings before he starts to do with Nicole Lynn. I got to get to a more stable place here for I'm at the end. I'm at the back nine of my career. It's got to get to a point where Hurts goes like this. Hey, man, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here?
Well, yeah.
Now, again, as long as I have Howie,
the max contract, I think that's all they need to do.
Yeah, but wait, as long as I have Howie, as long as Roseman's in the room, I'm probably good if I'm Jalen.
Yeah. I think he's given them a pretty good offense around him.
Yeah, it's just not utilized it enough to where it's making them happy.
I disagree with that. I don't disagree.
Making them happy, because to me, you're 50-18 and you won 2 NFC titles. I mean, obviously these people want more here. I want to take this little nugget from Birds 365 today.
Oh, we had some nuggets today. Even with my internet fallout, we had some nuggets.
We were on a big old nugget today.
We were like a 20-piece from McDonald's today.
Yes, sir, baby, with that nice honey that you dip it in. You know, it's all good. I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, are you a honey mustard guy?
You bet. I love that shit. Little dipping in there. I'm ready to rock.
Sauce guy. Like, dude, I need sauce. Like, if I order anything out, it needs double, triple.
You're a BQ sauce? You're a barbecue sauce guy?
I'm at every sauce. It doesn't matter the sauce.
too.
Now, I have preferences, but I like sauce.
I'm like an Oreo dunker. I like sauce and dunking. I'm good. I'm with you on that. All right.
There you go.
So Jalen Hurts is falling out of favor with the owner now?
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
That was a beauty, baby.
I knew you were going there. All right. That was an interesting comment.
Sure was.
In all seriousness, that was an interesting comment. So for those who didn't hear Birds 365, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's the best Eagles show in the morning out there.
It is.
John made the reference because I'm of the belief, and I said it yesterday on your program. What was the big, bold thing I said yesterday? The owner loves the quarterback, and the quarterback is going nowhere. So they'll blow out Nick and reset the thing again before they move on from Jalen, was my belief. But John dropped a nugget today that the owner doesn't feel about Jalen like he did a couple years ago. And he didn't say not like his character or person. He specifically said he loves him for that stuff. But
it's the skill set.
Yeah. On the football field, he's not as patient right now. Now, I don't know. This owner's a little bit weird.
What does that mean to you?
How did you like Jalen Hurts more before the team won a Super Bowl? Like, it just doesn't make that much sense to me.
It's because of what you always told me. He wants it to look like the sexy chick at Nordstrom's in the window.
He does.
He just doesn't like it to look like somebody sitting there at the dollar store selling gloves. I mean, he wants it to look and appealing to the eye.
Well, maybe, but we'll find out. I mean, the beautiful part about this switch for everybody, I think everybody listening, even people who think we're haters or whatever, like even Eagle Glazers, it's going to be new. It's going to be entertaining again. Like, it's going to be interesting. At least I think early in the year it will be. If they have to scale back, then it's going to be pretty ugly again. But I think, don't you think?
I can't. Are you kidding me?
Or do you think it's all lip service? They're not changing shit.
No, I think what they'll do is they'll try to do everything. They'll do Kellen Moore. They'll go as long as they can. And get this, maybe this time they won't stop.
I don't agree.
Maybe they'll go through it.
They didn't fire Jeff Stoutland to hire Kellen Moore.
No.
Remember, that same thing happened that year. Cliff Kingsbury didn't want the job because of it. They chose Jeff Stoutland.
With that schedule you have, you're
Oh, and by the way, they chose Jeff Stoutland, whose style then went on to win them a Super Bowl, but I digress.
Give me 2 Super Bowls.
2, but I'm saying even after the Kellen Moore debacle, where Kingsbury wanted them to move on from him so he could hire his run game coordinator, to which fans gobbled it up and said, dude, yeah, get Kingsbury.
So you fired Jeff Stoutland for Sean Mignon. He's a Frenchman, Sean Mignon. The most inexperienced coach, according to AI, in NFL history. All right. And then all of this, I'm sitting there this morning and I go, click, 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 click. What the hell is this? What is Landon Dickerson may be retiring?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't lead with that.
Oh, there's too many good nuggets here. I told you a couple days ago, Zander, 13 injuries, man. I don't think the guy's ever going to be the same. 13 injuries. Now he's talking about calling it a career. So let's add the sinking of the Titanic and their body count now. You ready? A.J. Brown, Lane Johnson, Jeff Stoutland, Landon Dickerson, Jalen Phillips. Jesus criminy. What'd they do? Jump overboard? What happened? Jesus criminy. Holy cow.
What are you asking?
7 wins, homie.
7 wins next year?
7-9.
No.
What? What do you mean no?
I mean, no, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
What are you and Angela? You've been slurping from the same tree.
Hey, you've
been slurping the same juice.
All I'm doing is watching who's jumping off the ship.
There's a lot of people jumping off the ship. I'll tell you what.
Especially when you have the owner jumping off the Jalen Hurts ship. He's jumping off the USS Hurts.
What do you mean off the USS Hurts? Is that what you're calling it? Pietis called me a moron a little bit ago in the chat. Pietis, what was that all about, bro? What was that all about? What the hell, Sileo? What do you want me to do? You want me to have all the answers? I don't got the fucking answer. Ask Prince. That guy's got more answers than I do.
Okay.
Prince.
Hey. So,
dude, they're bringing in Mannion. They're bringing in Mahaffey or whatever his name is. They're bringing in Grizzard, who stunk in Tampa, and they're going to try and run this thing up, in a different way. The question comes down to this, and you already have made your staked your claim, and so has John. Can Jalen Hurts run that offense or not? If you believe he can, then I would get excited for the year. If you do not believe he can, then I would brace yourself for impact.
Yeah. All right.
Pietis is a believer in the latter. Okay, that's why he called me a moron or whatever the hell he called me.
We're going to read your supers. Please hit the like button here. All right, I got one here for you. I think Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job. Do you?
No.
So when the quarterback stops running, do you believe that the quarterback's running ability or lack thereof hurt the run game?
100%.
Okay. So the quarterback stopped running. There were injuries in the O-line. That's Stoutland's fault that the quarterback didn't want to run anymore and that the injuries, that's Stoutland's fault.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that led to this point. It was the several years of the passing game struggling. And I think even honest fans, and maybe not honest fans, dishonest fans, would say last year they won the Super Bowl, but it wasn't a great passing game. I mean, it was talked about all year. I mean, will they be able to win in the playoffs this much without a passing game? They struggled in the passing game. So this is a multi-year thing, I think, and losing Stoutland is more a sign that they want to try a different offense than it is Jalen not running this year. Did he contribute to the bad season? Yes. And if they had a better season, maybe they wouldn't have made this change. Yeah, that's fair to say. But I don't think the change of offense is ultimately come down to Jalen. I think it's more come down to it's been ineffective in areas, and now the last area it stopped being effective as well. We got to go a different route, and if we're going a different route, then Stoutland probably doesn't fit anyway.
Okay, so help me out here on what you just said. So what you just said is, did I get this right? The inability of the offensive coordinators and the passing coordinators in the passing attack not being effective cost Jeff Stoutland his job.
Yeah, and to some extent.
Even though they won 2 NFC titles in a Super Bowl, he was a casualty of the offense not succeeding and being in the bottom third in passing. Is that right? That's how the Eagles are looking at that in your eyes?
Maybe, dude. I mean, I think they want to go a different way. So they want to run the ball, dude.
No, they want to throw the ball.
That's what I meant. They want to throw the ball, dude. They already run the ball.
So I think he's a casualty of the shitty OC hires.
Well, if you're going to make me say that, I'm going to have to disagree, which would lead me back to what your point was, that it's on Jalen. But I don't think we've hired shitty offensive coordinators in passing. I just don't think we have a team that's built. We don't have a quarterback that's built to throw or has not up to this point been able to throw the ball consistently across a long period of time. He hasn't. He's had good games, but he hasn't had a good, consistent offense throwing the ball. So that's what it is. I mean, I don't think was Kellen Moore a bad passing coordinator? Seriously, answer that question.
For Hurts, yeah.
No, I don't mean for Hurts. I mean in general.
No.
They weren't a good passing game when he was here. But is he a bad coordinator?
No.
So why do you immediately assume that everybody else is a bad coordinator?
Because he did the one thing that other coordinators maybe didn't want to do. And that was
on Jeff Stoutland more.
Yeah, he relied on Stoutland. Yeah. That's why he got a head job in New Orleans.
So I'm saying, though, to answer to your point, though, about he got fired because of shitty coordinators, I don't think it's because of shitty coordinators. I think it's because of the style of offense they were playing.
Yeah, but when you say that they want to throw the ball, and since the quarterback has been here, he's not shown any area where he can consistently throw the ball for 6 years on a week-to-week basis without using his wheels. And if you're not using your wheels, anywhere in his career, including Alabama, was that a case where the guy was back there winging it like Tua was at Alabama, or anybody was? He's never been a guy in his entire career. And yet you think, I want to put words in your mouth. You believed he may be able to run the style of offense they want by upping it between 27 and 30.
I never predicted that. I asked 2 questions. I said, is there a gray area where you don't have to play? Is this a one-size-fits-all scheme? Or is there nuance to the scheme based on the quarterback skill set? If the quarterback is not – because Jalen as a player still has a great skill set. If you're going to put him in an offense where the only thing you can get good out of it is timing throwing, then it's a bad offense for him. And that's what John's whole point is. Why are you changing into this? This isn't a good offense for him.
Stop.
Now, I'm wondering how much nuance they have. Do they incorporate some of those things while bringing in some of the new concepts? One of the biggest things, actually, about this offensive change that people should keep an eye on, and we'll probably be talking about this all summer, but not only is this about passing, but in a way, Sills, it is about running. They run a power scheme. That's gone now. So they're going to have a lot of the outside zones, a lot of those West Coast running scheme, which looks a lot different.
Yes.
Does that fit Saquon?
And it as an older player, probably.
I don't know, dude.
Wait. Is it that style of offense? Don't you think he's going to resemble more what Williams does in Los Angeles and how they use
nothing like him? Saquon doesn't run like him.
So the quarterback and the running back don't fit what they want to do?
Guys, we all watch Saquon play. You don't see that.
Wait. If you're good, hey, dude, if you're good,
I agree with Chris. I mean, it fits Tank Bigsby better. I mean, Tank, you have to.
There's another shitty contract you got to try to get out of
the field and then get upfield. You have to set the offense up with that running game. Saquon's not a patient runner like that. That's why he got hit behind the line so many fucking times. Now, it was some of the O-line too, but he's not a patient runner. Dude, he's got to find a hole and he's got to explode through it. No diddy. That's Saquon, though. I mean, that's his game. You're going to have him spread the field to the left and then wait, and then shoot the gap?
That's West Coast offense.
That's not Saquon Barkley.
Well, then what are you changing to? Your personnel doesn't fit the scheme you're changing to. Or either that, there's bigger changes coming personnel-wise.
Maybe. I mean, it's very early. It's February, brother.
You know, February. Do you think they would trade Saquon Barkley?
No, I don't. But maybe.
You just said he doesn't fit.
I don't think he fits.
Okay.
Do you think he fits?
No. I know he doesn't.
I don't think he fits. It's not a knock on Saquon. He's not that type of back.
No, he's a power back. You got to run a power offense with him. I mean, okay, wait. So the quarterback is not really a fit, and the running back's not really a fit, but fuck it. Let's spread the ball out.
I mean, like here's just like a quick, like for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, and I think most do, but just to put some clarity on it. In a West Coast offense, the running back acts as a versatile weapon, serving equally as a polished receiver in the short passing game and a strategic runner. Rather than just being a power runner, they are essential for stretching defenses horizontally, catching passes in the flat, and protecting the quarterback, requiring elite versatility and strong hands. Now, I don't know who watches Saquon. I think Saquon's one of the best power runners in the game. When you watch him catch passes in the flat, sometimes I think I could pick a guy off the practice squad who would do it better than him. When I watch him try and protect a quarterback, sometimes I prefer to have Will Shipley on the field. All right, and that's saying something. This does not fit his skill set, dude.
Okay.
Dude, short passing game? How many times did we watch Saquon Barkley drop a ball last? That's just a quick, I typed in Google, running backs in West Coast offense. That's what comes up.
And you know what? You know who fits that? The guy that Howie tried trading for 2 years ago before Barkley. What was his name? He was down in Carolina.
Oh, McCaffrey. They wanted McCaffrey.
Isn't that the prime definition of Christian McCaffrey?
That's why they went. That's why they traded what they traded for him.
Well, if you're going to change that offense, dude, you got the wrong personnel on the football field.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you.
Can I tell you who else?
I'm just telling you that's as big of a concern for me as the passing part.
Can I tell you who else doesn't fit? AJ.
That's a good point. He doesn't really either. A
guy like George Pickens fits that system.
And Puka's another perfect.
But where does Puka play out of?
Puka plays everywhere. You can't play
the majority of the time they play him out of the slot.
Yeah, it's true.
And AJ doesn't play in the slot.
Bijan would have been another perfect fit for it.
So AJ and Barkley, dude, I have a feeling maybe moved. You agree? You got seismic changes coming. The coaching staff is dictating that. There's players on your personnel that right now, Zander, don't fit that what you're reading right now. I see you're reading the definition of West Coast. Dude.
All right, here's a you know who Mark Lawrence is?
I do.
All right, here's a little write-up on the West Coast offense. All right, let's just run through this real quick as we can. Quarterbacks in the West Coast offense. Ready? This is what he writes. Easily the most important position in the West Coast offense has to be the quarterback. The ideal size of the quarterback in this offense, or any offense, is about 6'3", 210. The quarterback needs to be taller than the center. Playing quarterback in the West Coast offense requires several skills and traits, some of which can be developed through practice and sound coaching, and others which are inherited, genetic gifts. One of the most obvious requirements for a quarterback in the West Coast offense is having the ability to pass. It is important to realize that arm strength and being able to pass are not synonymous. Some players can throw a football 80 yards, but they aren't good passers. Good passing involves accuracy, timing, and throwing a ball with enough touch so that it is catchable. Good passing also requires understanding both the West Coast offense and the receivers in the West Coast offense and having a great sense of anticipation. I mean, that's a very specific skill set.
Exactly.
Jalen is a good player. That's not exactly what you would write about his skill set.
And do you think you have any wide receivers on the football team right now? Now, maybe guess what? Maybe this fits more towards making Devontae Smith a number one in this system too. Think about this. Here are the prototypical guys that are in the modern day right now that would fit West Coast schemes right now. Ahmad St. Brown, Cooper Kupp, a Puka Nacua, a Kendrick Bourne, a Ricky Pearsall, a Tyreek Hill. Those are West Coast style offensive wide receivers, Zander. To me, Devontae fits in that room. You may be making the transition.
He's on the edge, dude. Even he's on the edge because of his size. I mean, it is a tough offense on receivers.
But I think of all between him and AJ, I think he's more of the prototypical West Coast guy than what AJ is limited to the Y. He doesn't move around in your offense. Those wide receivers, Jerry Rice used to move all over the fucking field, man.
I know.
And he doesn't. He's limited to that left side, right? They'll move him over to the right a couple more. They did a little more movement, but dude, at the end of the day, he's not very versatile out there. Now, he's dominant in open space and after the yak and all that. But, bro, he doesn't fit a West Coast guy. Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown do not fit what they're doing also.
No. Dude, the whole thing doesn't fit. I mean, look, let me just –
A lot of fits. Let
me read one more sentence of this. I mean, it's almost baffling. And but by the way, I don't even know if they're trying to do that. Are they really trying to go to a West Coast offense? It looks like they are, but that's why I'm asking, is there gray area, dude? Is it not this? Because it can't be this. Listen to this sentence.
But it is this because you fired Stoutland.
I know, but listen to this, dude. This is the antithesis of the way we're built. There are three main principles to minimize risk and achieve success with the West Coast offense. These include protecting the quarterback, timing the pass, and using multiple receivers, including using backs as receivers.
Okay. Right.
Timing throws and spreading the ball around?
Not Jalen Hurts, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with you. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. I mean, you got a player that has a unique skill set. At this point, this is where I understand why John says this every morning to me. He's just like, why are they trying to do this?
Jalen Hurts is generally not considered a traditional West Coast quarterback as he originated from a spread air raid system in college.
Yeah, which works in the Pac-12 and the Big 12 when there's no defenses. But
Hurts came from an air raid spread. Okay. So again, he doesn't have the skill for this. This is why I'm telling you, Zander, they're not building this offense for him. I think they're hoping, they're praying he can adapt to this.
Who?
Jalen.
No, not Jalen. I mean, who's praying that? Or who's Who's putting him in this position?
Nick. And look, the owner doesn't want to have a shitty year.
So John, it's interesting. John said something. Another thing that caught my ear this morning was, if you gave me true serum, he said, I don't believe Nick wants to do this. Now that was an interesting comment.
Oh, he's coaching something against his will.
Against what I think he would decide to do, because of the pressure, because of the offense no longer working, because I think he thinks his back's against the wall. And the other thing is, I don't know if it's Nick. Is Nick the one who wanted to make the change to save his job? That is likely. That's possible too. Jeffrey Lurie could also be the guy who's like, we need to do this.
I'm sorry, I just wrote this down. That way of coaching always catches up with you. That way of doing anything in life always catches up with you. You want to keep doing something what the owner wants. You want to keep doing something what he wants. You want to keep doing. And when it keeps failing, the owner's not going to blame himself, dude. He's going to blame you.
Yeah, I know.
And at the end, guess what? You're going to be the casualty of this. The only thing that Nick Sirianni is doing right now is, you know what he's doing? Is buying himself more time. It seems like to me that's a way of buying yourself more time. Here, and here's another one. Do you truly believe in your entire life that he's going to defend, or he wouldn't defend Jeff Stoutland?
Dude, you know how, all right, so one, this organization, so they're already in the middle of a shitstorm, in that I don't think the owner likes the coach. And I think he's got questions about the whole thing, but it's very hard to fire or move people right now because of the success that they've had. So they're already in that remember, they care very much about public perception and all those things. That's why they got Bob Lang, the Gestapo, out there. You think they're going to move on from Jalen Hurts and keep Nick Sirianni? Seriously, I want you to think about everything that comes with that decision. Your show, my show, the radio, the fan base, the national media, the race thing, every part of it. Think about everything that goes into it. And then tell me with a straight face that they're building this for the next quarterback and they're going to keep Nick. Dude, there's a 0% chance. I'm telling you.
So if what you just said then they're going to rip that all apart again and start over from scratch, right?
I think so.
Okay.
There's a chance we have an entire new coaching staff again, either next year or maybe 2 years. Who knows?
Jeez. How much does that affect Howie?
That's why I think they're putting it on Nick, to protect Howie a little bit, because they're not going to move on from Howie. And they shouldn't move on from Howie.
No way.
But it is tough optics. I mean, it's a lot of coaches for a GM. That's a lot of coaches for a GM. I mean, I can't recall a single GM that's lasted that many coaches.
No. How about this? Is it possible Jeffrey Lurie just got bored?
I think no. I think Jeffrey Lurie just he wants a good offense. He's always wanted it, dude. It's the famous Tuesday meeting John brought up again today. We talk about it all the time. They win in Lambeau on a Monday night in a primetime game on the road in Green Bay in November or December. And the first question the owner asked the coach was, why do we run the ball so much?
I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to pull old school Dan out.
Uh-oh.
You bet. This is going to be old school Dan, and I'm going to ask you a question here, and I want you to think about it before you answer it.
Okay.
It's going to be on tape here. How hard would it be to move off of a black quarterback in Philadelphia with all the Jalenites for this organization?
Well, I think it's a real thing, but I also don't think you can. I don't think whether black or white or whatever, and I understand there's complexity to it, but if you're
how hard it was when
if you're making decisions based on that, then I already don't think you're qualified to be making the decision. That doesn't mean that they might not make it on that, but if that's your metric for a decision, it's a factor. It's something that exists in the world. I'm not going to act like it doesn't. But if that's the barometer for your decision, that a quarterback's not – there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the fucking NFL, man. If you're not a good enough skill set, talent, it has nothing to do with what you look like. I promise. It's one of the most elite skill sets, traits on the planet. God has blessed so few with that ability.
Do you know the heat that the Atlanta owner took when that whole thing went down with Michael Vick? 55% of the fan base was season ticket holders when they moved off of Vick and then had to bring in Matt Ryan to be the quarterback. 54% of the season ticket holders were up in arms over that. You know the only reason why it settled? Because Ryan took him to a Super Bowl. I'm telling you. I mean, it's perfect for Philly. You know, you just got through telling me optics are massive in that city. Don't you not agree?
They are.
And you know that that's part of the conversation. Dude, I'll tell you this. You know how Jeffrey Lurie's going to be? Look at the propaganda campaign they're going on with Jeff Stoutland being removed. I look over at their Twitter page. There's 60 things written about him because they don't like the optics.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they care about optics. There's no doubt. But again, we're talking about rarefied air in terms of positions here. I mean, this is not a position to exercise bullshit on why somebody has the job or not. I don't give a fuck if you're purple. If you can fucking play the ball in that 0.0001% of the population that
you and I are talking in reality. People don't live in reality.
It's true. It's true.
You and me understand. I don't give a shit where you're from, Mars. But there's people that care about bullshit like that.
Oh, there is. You know, I see people in the chat. You know, people only care about winning. I don't know, man. I really don't think that that's actually that true. I don't. I mean, I think Sills is right. I think people care more about it than people would act like. But
do you think people in life care more about dumb shit than they do about real shit?
Yeah, we live in a pretty dumb society.
Okay. Yeah. Me, I care about eggs and fucking rent. I don't care about fucking what happens in Tiscawah, Illinois. I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? I mean, right? All right. So what do you think the first biggest move is going to be moving forward? What's the next big move you think is coming?
Let's see what they can do, dude. I mean, look, Jalen. You know, how many times that people...
I'm talking about the next couple months here.
Well, in the next couple months, I think maybe this is even easier for them to move on from AJ because of what you talked about, or they're not, AJ's not maybe the type of receiver that fits this perfectly. Maybe that's what Sean Mannion said. Maybe he got there and was like, oh, yeah, you guys can move AJ if you want to. We'll grab another guy that can, because the other thing about the West Coast is you don't always need to have the best receivers in football. You don't. You need guys that can catch, and you need guys that can get open and spread the field, So who knows? Maybe they do go a different route.
You know where this new run coordinator came from?
Green Bay, right? Oh, yeah, he's Green Bay too, right? Yeah.
Oh, he's Green Bay. Where did he play his ball?
I don't know where he played his ball.
New England.
Oh, did he?
New England.
Go back in New England?
New England.
That's interesting.
How'd they run that offense there? Were there any big-time wide receivers in that offense?
No, there was not. I mean, there were a couple here and there, but yeah, you're right. Overall, no. Edelman, not
Amendola, Walter. These guys are good, but we're not talking AJ and Devontae here.
No, we're not.
Okay. It was more what? It was more high volume check down, short passes, tight end play, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
You think they're going to invent maybe a screen game here? They're going to be more because
dude, like I think Saquon's a big problem here.
He is. He is. He does not fit at all.
At all.
What they're planning on.
To be frank, I mean, for what Jalen's skill set is,
Goddard fits here now.
For what Jalen's skill set is, it's not this, dude.
It ain't this.
Spread the ball, make checkdowns. I mean, one of the other things I was reading, because I've been reading about this I'm interested in the offense now. I mean, I knew what it was, but now that we're going to run it.
Bill Walsh is the inventor of it.
Yeah, right. Bill Walsh. I mean, the Shanahan's, obviously, it's one of those things.
Right.
But
Air
I mean,
Coryell.
the more I read about it, the more I'm like, it doesn't make sense.
It
I mean,
does.
the one other thing I read, it's
It
like
does make sense if you plan on moving off the quarterback.
One other thing I read. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
See, this West Coast offense goes back to Walsh and a guy by the name of Dan Coryell. The older folks in here will know he was a former head coach of the Chargers, and he was also San Diego State, and he was the guy that really implemented West Coast style of play. So, yeah, I think Barkley, man, you could make a call. You might want to move off of him in this offseason here.
No.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Well, Zander, if you want to make the offense work, you can't make it work with parts that don't fit. Here, let me run this offense. Guess what? We don't have the players to make it fit. Well, shit. What are we doing then?
Where's my boy Underdog? Is he in here? Underdog must be thinking they're building this for McKay. He loves
They are.
McKay.
It sure looks it. It sure looks it. You're building it for a drop back shot. You're building it for Matthew Stafford, like that kind of guy.
Yeah, you are.
That's the guy that runs this. That's the guy, like, here, you know what would be great in this one? Baker Mayfield. He'd be great in that offense.
And Texas T, who's clearly a Cowboy fan, stirring up the Eagle fans. He's right, unfortunately. Huh?
Putting Dak in there?
Yeah, I mean, he's right. This is perfect for Dak.
Whew. Dak could throw for 500 yards every game in that offense.
Oh, he'd throw for 5K.
Yeah, he would.
Throw for 5K.
So what do you make of AJ then? What do you think his future is?
I think he's done. I think he's done in Philly. Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's done in Philly. He'll probably go and ball out somewhere. Probably go pick up 1,400 yards, and then he'll fall off a little bit after that. But he'll have one good season. Better to move on a year early than a year late. Going to be 29, $32 million. Move on. You got rid of Stoutland. Is anybody really safe? I mean, honestly.
No.
I mean, are we going to prioritize anybody? If Jeff Stoutland's gone, anybody can go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think he's gone.
Man, this is one whale of an offseason here. Nobody's safe on the Eagles. Is there any players right now that are
Jalen is safe. Jalen is safe.
No way.
Jalen he hit an inside the park home run.
How can he be safe when you're doing things that he can't do?
Because they think he can do it. They just think. See, this is why I think you're dumb when you bang on Nick Sirianni every day. They think Jalen can do it because they bought the narrative that Nick Sirianni's a stiff.
Then why in the world didn't they do it when he first came in? Wait, they did. I remember you and me going like this. You think this guy? You said, you know what he said?
They buy your narrative that Sirianni's the stiff, and he might be. Who knows?
You know what Zander said to me? I'm gonna expose him here. You know what he said to me? Is first we were working in. It was a Monday. I think it was after an Atlanta game. Zander goes, "You think this fucker makes the season?" And then all of a sudden Shane took over, and they won all them ball games.
Oh, I don't need to not be honest about that. I did not think that Jalen Hurts.
Remember, he was the play caller.
I did not think that Jalen Hurts would become the franchise quarterback of the Eagles. And I liked him. That's the funny part. I bought his number 2 jerseys. Eagles.
I got it.
I liked it. I loved him. I was a huge fan of him at Bama. I remember when he transferred, I watched every Oklahoma game. My brother's like, why the fuck you watching Oklahoma football? I'm like, I'm watching Jalen. I like Jalen Hurts. I've always liked him. But I did not think he was going to be, because I knew what I knew about the owner and I knew what I knew about Jalen's skill set. So I just didn't think he was going to be the owner or the quarterback here. But he became the quarterback here, and God bless him. He's done a good job with that. So
a couple more here before we read the supers. Mike North is coming up with us. So here,
Mike North's going to be mad at us again. By the way, you better get to him at 14.
Oh no, I got it. Last time
you better get me out of here. I don't want to be reading super chats when he comes in. He was
no shit, man. You want to get on my ass?
Oh my goodness.
So let me get this right here. All right. So you're changing this entire offense for the quarterback to run things that he's never done in his entire career in Philly and his entire life. You're changing the offense to do something in 6 years, moving into his
It's a beautiful thing, bro.
How?
Let it happen because I want to know. I want the truth. And we're about to get the truth. That's what I care about. Let's get to the truth. Jalen's either going to walk out there and he's going to play damn good. And we're all going to have egg on our face because we didn't think he could do it. I've never said I don't think he could do it. I don't know. I'm in the middle on it.
By the way, my friends, this is going to be a year for Sills of this.
It's February and he's already proclaiming this.
Hey, let me just tell you this. If this guy can't do what I said he could never do, I was right from April of 2021 to right now that this dude was a fucking caboose.
You were waiting to say that the whole show.
Hey, I know this. We're like, or get this. Sills, I need to see your playbook. Because listen, hey, this is it. Yeah, I agree with you. Bro,
dude, we're going to find out. We're going to find out who the stiff is and who's not the stiff.
Who do you think?
Oh, wait. I got to get one more thing. If you're right, and if for all the people who don't who think Jalen is going to be fine in the offense, if it doesn't work, or excuse me, the Jalen haters, if it doesn't work, you know what I need all of you to do, right? You know, say it.
Yeah.
Apologize to who?
Me.
To who? No, you need to apologize.
Me.
Yes, you.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
To who?
To everybody.
To Nick Sirianni. Because if Jalen can't do this, if Jalen can't run this offense, then you, me, anybody else who's called him a Prince, if you've called him a dumbass for his offense and Jalen can't do this, he's due an apology because he won 70% of his football games. All right. Running an offense that nobody in the NFL wants to run.
And then why would he change it then?
He changed it because he's getting fired either way. Exactly as I told you.
No, because of what you said. He's getting pressure from above.
Yeah. And because he's getting, pressure from above to him means he's getting fired.
Let's get to these supers before I get reamed by Mike North.
There's my boy Prince. He sucks. Prince, if Jalen can't do it, though, Prince, it's going to start looking tough for you, my guy.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go. Let's get these supers. Pieta says, I didn't call you a moron, Z. I think you're the best. Pieta, I was just kidding. I love you, brother. You said something, though. What'd you say? Go to your counselor or some shit? I don't know what the fuck you said. Here's Tyler. Pieta, I appreciate you. Tyler says, they're building for Tanner Manning McBrady. All right, let's see him have a good game first. Danito says, never a dull day with this team. That's a
damn true comment.
That's the damn truth. Never a dull day. Here's Hangry Dogs. Didn't McVay run more inside zone duo and power game? Yes, he did. This year, 13 personnel. John gave him credit for that on the show. Yeah.
A lot of it. He did. A lot of it.
Like,
ton of it.
Sean's actually a little bit more malleable. Kyle's like.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw somebody this morning, and I got to correct this. I didn't correct him this morning. Somebody was saying McVay or Shanahan drafted Lance, so like he obviously still likes dual threat. He just didn't get the right one. That's right. Like, no, that's not true. That's not. It was Shanahan did not draft him.
No, John Lynch did.
John Lynch wanted him. Shanahan wanted Mac Jones.
Yes,
who he's got now.
Because that's the type of skill set, and like Vic said, he's in the place where he should have been in the beginning.
He didn't want Trey Lance. All right, here we go. We got that one. Here's Mr. Hill. Sills, before our time, Eagles QB Sonny Jurgensen, rest in peace. Z's dad remembers him. Yeah, rest in peace, Sonny. Eagles, by the way, they did put out something.
Zander and I talked about that. Norm Van Brocklin was the guy, but he was on that 60 team.
They did put something out.
Oh, great. Good.
Yeah,
good.
They did. I got it from their website this morning. I got the notification.
Good.
Here's Tyler Kilgore. What's up, brother? I've been saying we are closer to a rebuild, and now it's here. This is Hurt's chance to prove he can carry us. Jalenites will be talking. QB draft in 27. Maybe.
It is. It's an offensive rebuild. Do you not agree?
Oh, completely. I mean, how could anybody deny that? Now, the next question is, how much personnel does the personnel change?
Oh,
on offense.
I think a lot. Barkley and I think AJ don't fit this offense. You think Landon's back?
Yeah, I do. But that's a crazy story. Landon fucking thinking about retirement.
Even if he comes back, what Landon
like,
comes
what the hell? We got our 27-year-old guard. We just paid the guy. I felt like we paid him like yesterday. I remember doing the breaking news segment on the channel. I mean, what the hell?
Like, what Landon Dickerson are you getting back in 26, though?
I don't think a very good one. Here's Ricky King. Kingsbury just got picked up by the Rams. That's I don't know if that's great. Are they gonna butt heads?
No.
Kingsbury and McVay.
I think they've worked together before.
Maybe they have.
I think they have. As Kingsbury and McVay worked together before. Worked together before.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's no doubt that the pressure's on Nick and Jalen this year. Here's Angry Dogs. We're running out of time. Mike Norris coming, dude. The axe is coming.
No shit. I'm going to get my ass.
According to Adam Kaplan, Stoutland was Lurie's favorite coach. Well, no shit. But, yeah, that's interesting, actually. Intern Sirianni says the Eagles have an ownership problem.
No, they don't.
Yeah, he's odd. I think if you were here a little longer, you would.
Yeah, you know what, though? He's odd.
He's good. He's good. You're right.
But he's good. Yeah, he's good. He's good. Right.
Odd dude, though, man.
Hey, Zander.
It's not an insult. I'm a fucking odd dude.
Yeah, so am I.
You're a weird dude. Yeah, you're an oddball.
You think? What's that, an epiphany?
No.
Right?
Same way. That's why I like you. I'm weird, too.
Yeah, I get it, man. I use the word unique.
All right, wait. Let's put an early prediction on.
Okay.
Hurts passing yards next year. Does he bust 4K?
I got, let me see here, 25, 18. So I'm going to go 30, 42.
I saw some people chirping my haircut, by the way. You guys are haters.
I actually like it.
Oh, the haters are sad.
So I've got 3,642 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 18 picks.
I can see 36.
Why? When he threw for 538 yards, he had 15 picks. So if they up the volume to 600 attempts,
they're not more picks. 600 attempts. How many attempts did he have this year?
Got it right here. 454. 454 is get this. 361. You won this. Isn't it funny?
Give me 540.
The year he won the Super Bowl, he had 361 attempts. And the year he had the most
500.
What?
500 attempts.
Okay, so 500 attempts. When he threw for 538, he had 15 picks and 23 touchdowns. And
who you got this weekend, dude? We didn't even talk about the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Who you got?
I got the Patriots. I like the coach and the quarterback better.
I want to tell you one thing about the Patriots here that I don't think – so everyone's looking at Drake.
And I like Milton Williams, by the way.
Everyone's looking at Drake May going 55-8 in completion percentage. And I turned around and went, take a look at the defenses in the last two games he's played. He played the Texans and the Broncos.
Yeah, right.
Do you think anybody's going to have really great numbers against those two defenses? I don't.
The Seahawks are a good defense too, though.
My point is that he's been schooled with really great D that he's played against. This Seahawks defense is not going to be something that all of a sudden, you go into a game, you're like this, holy shit. You know what? I think that number's a little bit. I still got the Seahawks though, man. I got them 28-21. I think they pull out. I think they pull away late and they win the ball game. And Matthew Stafford, he completely does this. He validates another Big Sills take about Sam Bradford that you don't have to have an elite quarterback win a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP.
How about Matthew Stafford getting the MVP?
You see his chicks up there too, his little girls. I thought that was adorable last night, man. I really liked it.
Pretty dope. Yeah, Matthew Stafford's a fucking baller.
Yeah. And then you see what he did too. He goes, yeah, we're going to run this bitch back in 2026.
Uh-oh, that means we got some competition, everybody. No, Mike North is not in the room. You better rip his ass because now it's later than 4:30.
I'm going to text him right now and go like this. Hey, bro, what's up here, man? We've been waiting for you on time here. What are we doing here, Mike? Hey, man, listen. Mike,
Get
what's
me
up?
out of here, dude. Get me out of here.
Mike, wait a minute here. Hang on here, Mike. Where are you?
Oh, there he is.
Hold on for a second. Look at him.
1 minute late. I'm out of here.
He's a minute late. Holy shit.
1 minute late. Oh, baby.
I got my ass reamed last week, man.
Wow.
What the hell? We got our super chats done.
No,
All of a sudden now here. What is this?
Late. You could be a minute late anytime. But when you rip to high heavens
That's
like
right.
you did a week ago and then you come in late, Mike, you got some explaining to do, Mike.
No shit.
Right,
What
brother,
is this, Chicago time here? What are we doing here, man? All right, bro. Have a great one. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday, man. Appreciate it.
All right, dude. You too. I appreciate
Love you, man.
It. Love you too, brother.
You got it, man. That is Big Z. All right. Jesus, criminy. Last week, I got my fanny spanked by Mike North. What the hell you think I'm doing here, man? I'm coming here. I come on time. What are you doing here, man? What the shit's going on? Did we not, everybody? We got it. We got our stuff done. We got our homework done. I said, hey, I don't want Mike to kick my ass again. So I don't know here, man. And then plus it's Super Bowl week. And tonight is also the opening ceremonies of the Olympic Games. Without further ado, my friend, one of the great sports talkers of all time. He is 2 minutes late. He's here with us now. Without further ado, our friend Mike North. He joins us now here on the show. How you doing?
Oh, my God, that was fabulous. I wanted to give Zander a little time. I'm a giving man, and it's good to see him without a hat. I was fearing he was bald. I never, I didn't know what, but it's great. I did not know my hair. I'm with the early Liberace look today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me tell you, Mike, I probably made the kid lose more hair than he probably needs to.
Oh, he's a terrific guy.
He's a Big Z's a good guy here.
And
All right.
And that was beautiful. God bless.
All right.
It's good to be back. Nobody wants to work for the Eagles, and I turned them down as the cheerleader masseuse. I just turned them down. I don't even want to do that, and who wouldn't want to do that? That's just me, But nobody wants to work for the Philadelphia Eagles, so
they fired the best coach they have had, and they didn't really fire him. He walked out because they pushed him out. Jeff Stoutland. From what I'm understanding, his phone is blowing up, even with guys who have a job, organizations. I mean, Mike, if you hired Jeff Stoutland in Chicago,
yeah,
he'd be the greatest offensive line coach they've had up there, like ever. I mean, the job that he would do with that Chicago offensive line.
We had a terrific guy in the 80s and 90s, Ditka's good buddy. But there were some bums on that staff too, including the offensive coordinator, Ed Hughes. We had a guy, Ed Hughes, he looked like a professor, and he was calling the plays. And that's what I love about the fact that, you guys are going to hopefully get, I don't want to see your style change too much. I still think Barkley had a big letdown year that caused a lot of these problems. A.J. Brown's under contract. I wouldn't have him back. I'd work out a trade. I think you can find another receiver. Devontae Smith is terrific. That's what I would do. But, it's your team. You guys have been very fortunate. I know it was tough this year. I thought I stuck with you all year long. I was very surprised when you did lose. I love Jalen Hurts. I think he's terrific. And when A.J. Brown wanted the ball more, they threw 3 games in a row and lost them all. And this is just me looking from a distance with the great franchise. And look, Sonny Jurgensen died today. Okay,
I was just going to ask you, give me your takeaways on that, because Sonny played the majority of his career, obviously in Washington, but he was on that 60 team with Norm Van Brocklin that won that 60 title against Green Bay. Just your takeaway with him.
Well, I mean, I'd get them in football cards. I'd be thrilled. We had football cards. We were kids. They were a nickel. In 1960, 1961, I get Norm Snead, Milt Plum, Guys like that. Johnny, when you got a Johnny Unitas, you were euphoric, or any of the Packers like Jimmy Taylor and Ray Nitschke, and any Bear. I mean, as I got older, you get guys like Butkus in their rookie years. I stopped collecting about 11, 12, 13 years old. It wasn't a big...
me. I collected them into my 20s. I love baseball. I got a ton of baseball, and I got a ton of cards.
Yeah, it wasn't me growing up. It was, you play with your baseball cards till you're 11, 12, 13, make your trades and stuff. And, when you got Mickey Mantle or Ernie Banks, you were like Nellie Fox. I go way back there. So it was great. And Sonny Jurgensen, I remember him with the Eagles. I remember the Eagles with the white helmets with the green wings. I remember the Eagles with the beautiful Kelly green, which they should always wear. Why they wear the green. See, I'm an NFL historian. I'm a Bear fan, but I've been around since, and I like to brag about it. Now I'm not ashamed. I'm a boomer. You want to call me a boomer? Let's go. That's a beautiful name for guys like me. Boomers are people born up until 64, and I'm going. Just Sonny Jurgensen was a good quarterback, very stable, great announcer later on, and a quarterback with the Redskins. So I understand.
You know what? I heard a story, and by the way,
and a big drinker.
By the way, tremendous. By the way, I was born in 64, so that's cool. Okay,
yeah,
good.
You're a boomer.
Yeah,
well, you got that look.
So let me give you a story about Sonny Jurgensen. So my uncle, obviously, Robustelli, Lombardi was on that coaching staff of the New York Giants. He was the offensive coordinator.
And Tom Landry was on it.
Tom Landry was also the defensive
How do you like this history? Folks, you could have Abraham Lincoln. We tell you about Landry. We talk about Landry with the Giants and Lombardi. Did you hear this guy?
So check this out. So he told me when Vince was dying and he had cancer when he was the head coach.
That was tough.
Of the Washington Redskins then. He said that Sonny Jurgensen, he told Sonny Jurgensen, if he had been the quarterback in Green Bay instead of Starr, he said they may never have lost the football game. He said that he enjoyed coaching him in Washington and said that guy was totally one of the absolutely greatest players he had ever coached. That's the respect level that Vince had for Sonny Jurgensen. And how he got that job, Mike, how Lombardi got that job. Check this out. 1 year, he went to work for AT&T. After he left, my uncle told me the story. After he left, he became the general manager of the Green Bay Packers, and he wasn't really having a good time at all. He hated what he was doing.
Right. He came back.
So Jack Kent Cook came to him and said, I'll give you 5% of the Washington Redskins if you come back and coach the team. And he goes, okay. So Vince had 5% of the Washington Redskins, and they just sold it a couple of years ago. I think when Snyder owned the team, they finally sold 5%. But can you imagine that? He came back, and what that 5% turned out to be? His son sold it. Yeah.
Okay, that kid, I saw the documentary. The kid was gunshot.
Yeah.
I mean,
the daughter just passed away a couple of years ago.
Yeah, God bless the family. But I mean, the old man must have come home more than a few times after 8 highballs. A tough loss to the Baltimore Colts. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say this: Vince Lombardi. And if you're a good talk show host, I always said this: you can make a debate out of anything. And I could debate that he's the greatest coach that ever lived, but I also could debate Belichick. I also could debate Weeb Ewbank, who won in both leagues. I also could debate Don Shula. But Lombardi took over a team that had won 1 game the year before with the same guys. There's no free agency. Come on in. Hey, look who we signed, No, I'm stuck with Bart Starr, okay? And who was a terrific quarterback. That's no slight, by the way. Sonny Jurgensen. No. Those Bart Starr's a top field general of all time.
Absolutely.
And in fact, you hear about Unitas in the 60s. Don't ask me who the better quarterback was. I'll give you the truth. It was Bart Starr. So Lombardi takes over that team. He runs what I would do. The same plays 5 times until somebody can stop us, and nobody can stop us. The power sweep. He doesn't get fancy. Let's do, okay, we're up 10-0. Let's stop the power sweep and let's do a flea flicker, He never, and he always took points. Then he goes to Washington after winning the first 2 Super Bowls and those 5 titles and taking
9
a
years.
1-win team. Then he goes to Washington and they make it with the same team that was just, he's on the sidelines. And I think he was a superstar.
Yeah.
Jack Kent Cook knew exactly what he was doing. You tuned in to the Washington Redskins to see those gold helmets with the R and the feather. But Vince Lombardi, and he didn't look any different. He had the trench coat, the same thing. And when he died of cancer, we were all in shock.
Absolutely. Mike, here's the thing that my uncle, and I love the stories that he told about Lombardi when Lombardi was in.
Sure. He always from Fordham.
He always thought that that he was like late in the process of becoming a head coach because he was Italian, and so that he thought that
we all feel that way. Yeah.
Hey, they thought he was a little prejudiced with that whole thing, but he goes like this. So there was a card that I have, Mike. There was a card that I have. He goes, he went in his first meeting. He told those Green Bay Packer guys, hey guys, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to learn and we are going to strive for perfection, knowing full well none of us are ever going to attain perfection. We're going to learn to live with greatness.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to win. I got that on a card.
Well, they got Lombardi time, which meant you better get down there. You better get into the meeting earlier. And this,
that's Jimmy Johnson. Well, by the way, you failed that today, man.
That's right. That's right. Look, I give out heat. I can take it. I will tell you right now. I deserve it from Zander. I deserve it from Danny because last week I made a big issue about me not coming out until later. A little temperamental, a little bit. And then today I go, and here's the thing. I'm making a cup of coffee. This is 2026. I got one of those Mr. Coffee things. It takes 5 minutes for one cup to fill up. They couldn't find the thinner thing. So now I get down there. I go, oh, Christ, maybe they forgot about it. Maybe they're not. And the first thing, I took 10 punches like Michael Spinks did against Mike Tyson.
Mike is drinking still from Joe DiMaggio's Mr. Coffee. I love it.
Let me tell you something. Tom Brady, what are no good looking. All of a sudden, I've done an about face. I love the guy as a player. I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. Just like I don't want to ever see Brooks Koepka again after watching him go off for 2 days. He leaves the tour and then leaves that tour, and people are clapping for him. Loyalty now is like a nightclub, the name of a nightclub, for God's sake. They're He just left another group of guys. What kind of jerk is he, right? I mean, come on.
I saw that Torrey Pines.
Wait, I bet a guy named Max McGreevy, they showed him like no times and showed a guy shooting an 80, Koepka, a defector from 2 tours already, but this guy's sound of mind. My God.
Mike, what'd you make of the Hall of Famers last night? Roger Craig went in, Luke Kuechly went in, Larry Fitzgerald went in, and obviously Drew Brees.
It's over. Everybody can get in now. Let anybody in. Because you know what? If you don't know after 5 years, you shouldn't be in. If you don't win. Look, I looked it up today. The Hall of Fame, a good friend of mine, Jesse Rogers from ESPN, he produced my show. Now he's a big baseball guy. He said, it's generational now. I go, that's not what the Hall of Fame's for. Okay? But admit what you folks are doing. Not just Jesse, everybody. You're moving the goalposts a little bit. Because I'm reading that Felix Hernandez, okay, with 179 wins, okay, and 139 losses. Not bad. 54, 55, whatever percent. Okay? But Mickey Lolich died the other day, okay? 1968. Now, he was they said they put him in the bullpen for 6 weeks because he slumped. He was 17-6, okay? He won 200.
I'll pitch Gibson in that series.
Right. He won 217 games, and he lost 199. And he pitched 3 games in the World Series in 68. When McClain crapped the bed and went 1-2, he wins 3 games and all complete. And he has ERA 3.44. Hernandez 3.44. So I'm saying to myself, okay, so now Lolich got 25% of the vote, his highest amount in 99, and he was out. And this guy's going to get in. I'm going, it's over. That's it. You're letting mediocrity in. Somebody said, well, in his prime, nobody was better. Your prime should be 10, 15 years if you're a Hall of Famer. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. I do. And I mean, well, Wilbur Wood had as many wins. I mean, Wilbur Wood had as many wins.
Beautiful, Dan.
I mean, if you're gonna go down that lane, I remember old big Wilbur on there with that Sox uniform, man. Him being out there and pitching, he had 164 victories, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll tell you what, one of the biggest, when you're a kid and you could, the bullpen.
See, this is from my baseball card thing that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah. This is like the Sox bullpen used to be in center. That's when they had cool bullpens. The Cubs don't even have a bullpen. I think they have they pitch in a theater, like underneath the bleachers or something. But they were in center field. Wilbur Wood. But they had a ramp so you could see him pitch. Smokey Burgess. People don't even know. Smokey Burgess was a portly, little, fat, great catcher, but couldn't hit worth a damn, you know. But they would say hi, you know. Now they got security, you know what I'm saying? So It's just a different game, just different.
Hey, listen, I must have went to Kaminsky. I must have went to old Kaminsky 5-6 times. And
I went more than that.
When you walked in there, it was just always dark looking, like left field. Remember when they had the overhang, Mike? They had the overhang, and
those I remember. Let me tell you something. I took the L down there in 1968 as a 16. How old was I? Yeah, 14, 15-year-old. I was a vendor. You take the L back in 1968. There was racial tension all over the place, and I was the only guy like in the L car most of the time that was pasty. Okay, nobody bothered me, and nobody bothered me. But man, I remember.
Yeah, because you look like a hood. That's why. That's I mean.
I got to be honest with you. You auditioned for Ray Milland in the Dial M for Murder remake is coming up.
All right, Mike, what do you make of the Super Bowl, man? What do you think? Who do you like on Sunday?
I'm going to go double here. I did this with the Miami game. Indiana, I had Indiana minus 6.5. And I had I had Indiana on the money line, and I had Miami plus the 6.5. So I won both ends. I think this is a game that could be 3 or 4 points. And right now it's at 4.5. So I'm going to take the money line with Seattle, and I'm going to take and I've won about 4 or 5 bets like that in the last 2 years. And I'm going to take New England with the 4.5. I do love the over for folks out there, and I've been on fire in the playoffs. I'm like 16-4. Check me out at North to North on. Or check me out when you're here, because I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. 45.5, because I don't see an edge rusher that is going to panic either one of these quarterbacks. Now, they have a great line, and they pressured the quarterback enough. They had a good amount of sacks, but there was not one guy on either team, Danny, with double sacks. See, nobody told Danny this yet. This is the first he's hearing. So I believe your main thing is that Drake May makes up 72%, folks. 72% of the offense. That's pass completions and runs. Okay. When you're a defensive lineman, your job on the ends, if you're not an edge rusher, is to contain and stop him. If they don't get a rush up the middle, though, they're going to play into his hands because you don't want him in the pocket. You really don't want Drake May on a nice day. We're not talking Denver here. And by the way, if I can, I was a Drake May fan. I think what he did was phenomenal. I think there's journalists out there, ladies and gentlemen, that work for gambling channels and other things that are hyping certain people on their shows and what have you while they're holding tickets. Okay? So you're not going to always get. In other words, it was a close vote. In my world, it shouldn't have been. But people drove the odds up on Stafford by saying, that back he ain't going to be ready by opening day. and Danny remembers this. He ain't going to be ready by opening day. In fact, they'll be lucky they got him by week 3. All of a sudden, by week 5, he's an MVP candidate. Now, who pitches all this? We know. And who's got tickets? A lot of these guys. Okay. So Drake May, against common opponents this year, was 6-0. Okay. His touchdowns, 14. His interceptions, 5. Common opponent Stafford, 4-2. This is, you don't get this on the Jim Rome show. 4-2, 14 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. They had May had 87 first downs, completions on first downs, and Stafford had 77, and May had a QBR of 81 and Stafford 57. Where did you read that? Nowhere. Because these guys already got things contrived. They get together.
Mike, I would say this too about May. You know, they looked at the 55, I think it was 55.8 is completion percentage.
Yeah.
You had weather and Mike, look at the last 2 defenses he played.
Oh, yeah, he was like 65. His completion percentage was high.
Mays was? I thought it was around 55.8 going in.
You'd have to check. You're right. But I'll tell you this. You're right. He played in Denver and won on the road in a snowstorm.
But the Texans and the Broncos defense, those are the 2 best defenses in pro football. So
right.
I look at that and go like this, there's not going to be I don't care who you are. You're not going to throw 68% against those defenses.
That's right. 68.
That's not going to happen.
Well,
so
I heard
those numbers are a little bit jaded because of the type of defenses they lined up. So he's a really, I mean, look, he's in the Super Bowl, and Mike, they were 9-0 on the road this year.
And wait, they had 4 wins last year. And by the way, I always love this. If McCaffrey goes down next year, then Shanahan will suck as a coach again. I'm sick of the praise. They won 5 games the year before. He didn't lose Purdy for any period of time, and they had McCaffrey this year, so they're back, okay? If he loses one of those 2 guys, he's back to 5 wins. What Ben Johnson did in my lifetime as a Bear fan, that he only got 1 vote. You didn't watch the games. You couldn't have watched the games. That's all I'm saying. And I compliment Bear coaches like I throw sewer covers at people. Are you kidding me? So this guy was phenomenal. I'm not saying he should have won. I like Vrabel. I like McDonald. They had a strong year.
Liam Cohn was good.
All of them were good. All of them were good. That's the problem. But my God, 1 first place vote, Danny Pompey. Thank you. You're the guy that put it in from the Athletic. But come on. I like both. I like the middle. I caught the double shooter, and I like the over because I think nobody can guard the wide receiver from Seattle and whatever his name is. And then I just think Drake May is going. His total for running, Dan, is 39 over under.
Yeah.
That's high
for
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Here's what I would do, folks. People go, Mike, folks. I told John Paxson to take Jalen Brunson. He was in our own backyard. He took a guy named Valentine. Okay, the rest is history. I told Tim Floyd to take Mike Miller. Okay, a Bulls coach, and he said Mike Miller. He took Marcus Pfizer. The rest is history. I know what I'm talking about.
He was Rookie of the Year that year too, by the way. Mike Miller.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody laughing at me in Chicago. Now, I just happen to think that they're not going to run New England. Josh McDaniel is like the 49ers. Their running game was a short pass. Roger Craig, that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, really. I mean, he was a dual threat. And I think that his completion over under is 20.5. He's going to exceed that, and he doesn't have to be losing. I think if they know if they try to run against Seattle, they're not getting anywhere. Give it to the full halfback for 1 yard, or let Drake May go back almost 3 out of every 4 times. And if there's nothing, run for 20 yards or run for 10 yards because he's an underrated runner that nobody talks about.
What about Sam Darnold to you? I mean, the story of Darnold. I mean, what do you make of him?
He's like me in grade school. I mean, the guy was on like 5 teams in 8 years. You know what I mean? But I made it to the 5th grade in 8 years. So no, this guy is phenomenal. He was on 5 teams. I mean, 5 teams in 8 years.
Yeah.
And then he settles in, he meets a nice girl, and the rest is history. You know, his legs are stronger, things are better now. You know,
You build up your stamina.
your stamina. You know,
you're ready to go.
I used to like Kenny Stabler was one of my. First of all, there's never going to be a Joe. Thank Joe Namath for everything, if you can. As you're watching Big Bunny, please. Which I will never.
Are you jacked about Big Bunny coming up at the halftime?
I couldn't believe it yesterday. He says, "Listen, you had 4 months to learn Spanish." I go, if I would have known that, I would have stuck it out at my high school. If I would have known, hold on. Someday you're going to have to know Spanish in America. What? Yeah, some guy's going to chastise you.
I'm going to have to learn Spanish to watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I can't believe it. So now, we got the squares, and all that. But look, Connie Francis sang in 15 languages. All right?
By the way, he was in Paisan, just to keep it fair.
He was. Wait, and Andrea Bocelli sings in 9 languages. Christine and Rick Aguilera and Ricky Martin sing in 2 languages. Big Bunny, I have a message. Sing 1 English song. Sit down for 4 months and sing an English song to your American audience. It's not up to us to learn what you got. Come on. My God, I can't believe what's going on. Everything's asked backwards. Is everything asked backwards?
Man, Big Bunny got you going here, man.
First of all, I'm watching the Puppy Bowl. Okay, the kittens come out at halftime. Me and my wife watch that. I got an all right to learn. When the drug of the earth leaves, let me know. Okay, when he leaves the stage, please let me know so I can turn back the.
But Mike, the kids like him. Come on, no kids like.
I'm a boomer. I like Paul Anka. Leave me alone.
So you wanted to see like
I don't want to see an
Jagger up there again.
Mick Jagger's fabulous.
Yeah. He's like 90 years old, 80 years old.
It doesn't matter. All I know is Big Bunny's very successful. I don't begrudge anybody. I don't want to see him in a dress with a mustache. Dress up a little bit. Present yourself.
But Mike, wait a minute. You
present yourself.
Yeah, but wait, Mike, you covered a guy in a dress for like what, 7 years?
One of my best buddies.
You covered Rodman for like
love him.
You covered a guy in a dress.
Yeah, but Rodman didn't
rebounder.
Rodman didn't say ice out. Okay. So I only could go so far. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Drake
May 37.5 rushing yards over under.
I love the over. I mean, come on. He's going to have to run, Danny, unless he doesn't get that pass rush. So maybe I might reassess that. I think over 19.5 completions at minus 130 is safe because they're going to pass, I think, from the get-go. You think hey, let's try to establish the run. You can't run against Seattle. You can't. So what? And if you can, Seattle's going to lose. That's it. They're done. So I think the interesting one is Darnold. 0.5 interception.
That's over.
That he won't even throw one. And your first reaction was over, and that's my first reaction. I'm saying to myself, this guy might have a super game and might be one of the, you talk about the coach of Indiana. How about Sam Darnold, one of the greatest reclamation things that's ever happened in the NFL by far?
Ever.
Yeah.
Over under Bad Bunny he's got in 6-inch heels, or do you think he's in a corset? Mike, I love your Big Bunny. I love your Bad Bunny or whatever the hell he is. I'm glad your take on him.
I have an alternate. Everybody's doing an alternate halftime show. Okay. And it's going to be as entertaining as Bad Bunny or Big Bunny or whatever his name is.
Bad Bunny, I'm getting. So you're doing an alternative halftime show too.
White Smoke presents. I'm going to smoke my first cigarette since I was 27. Wait, and then I'm going to blow smoke out of my mouth in rings.
White Smoke.
Yeah. Now wait. Here's what I think Tom Brady should do. Pizza Hut should. at halftime should have him have to eat a whole pizza in front of America to convince people that, yeah, some guy said, well, he's allowed a cheat day. I go, he doesn't even take a bite.
How about, wait a minute. Here's one I don't believe. I think he's full of shit on. Ready?
Yeah.
He said he doesn't have a dog in this fight.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, wait a minute, Tom, you played 20 years in New England. What do you mean?
He retracted today. He retracted. He said that, if you guys didn't remember what I said back in the day, I said I was a patriot for life. So that's the farthest he'll go. Other than that, I don't care. It's been a public relations disaster for him this week. In a number of, and his last game, I think I discussed it here. I thought Romo had a better game. I thought Tom rode the fence. I told Tom didn't want to insult McVay. I thought Tom has too many close ties. I think Tom has gone to the other side. You know, I mean, that's the way I look at it right now. He's fully corporate now.
Do you think he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer on the way they treated Kraft and the way they did Belichick?
He better be. Otherwise, it is banded. Look, all three should be in. Kraft had to wait a long time. So, in my opinion, he better be. But I could give you an argument now that Joe Montana was the better quarterback.
He is.
4-0 when the rules were, we're going to kill you and there's no blue tent.
Here's something, Mike, that I've always said. I played against Joe, and here's something I'll always say about him. In his Super Bowls, he had 135 quarterback rating. Mm-hmm. He never threw he never threw a pick. He had 12 touchdown passes, and he beat guys like Marino and Elway in those Super Bowls. I mean,
no,
and he destroyed them.
And he never lost a Super Bowl.
He never lost. He's kind of the Michael Jordan of the NFL.
Yeah, because you got Montana. I mean, you got our guy who lost 7-3 and twice to Eli. And, you know, I heard all the hype about Stafford winning the MVP. The Carolina Panthers almost beat him twice. And I heard Jim Gray today. Folks, I don't care where you go. This is what it's about. Jim Gray, again today. I hear him today. Oh, everybody says. I hate when people say that. Everybody says. That's what reporters, journalists like to do. That's why the papers are folding. Everybody says that the Rams were the best team. Seattle was favored the last game.
Yeah, and, I don't believe that.
And Drake May did not have Devontae Adams or Puka.
Yeah.
And he won 14 games as a second-year guy. And
he had one dude. He had JSN.
Yeah, I got
JSN.
I got to listen to nonsense. This is why it's hard for a boomer like me. People say, "Hey, old man, be quiet," and I say, "Shut up and learn something."
But you're not that. But see, any guy with an opinion on Bad Bunny, man. I mean, there's no way. There's no way.
Listen, I saw Milton Berle in drag in '58. All right, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, and that's when everybody said, "Look at him, he's dressed like a girl," and it was okay for him.
So you're all right with Liberace then, right?
Oh, I love the story. Did you ever see the Liberace story?
I did.
Run. You don't walk. You run. If Liberace was coming out of a bar and you were walking, towards him, turn around as quick as possible, head for the automobile.
That was that HBO show, right? I saw that thing.
Michael Douglas and Matt Damon kissed openly.
It was actually a crazy show.
It was a great show. I loved the movie and the balls they had.
Yeah.
I mean, way ahead of their time, and nobody talks about it. Yeah. And, you know, Liberace was on Ed Sullivan once every 3 weeks, folks. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? Everybody imitated him. Michael Douglas was fantastic.
He was phenomenal in it.
Yeah.
JSN, over under 96.5.
What is that?
JSN.
What is
Seattle
that?
Receiver. Over under.
Oh, nobody wants to use his name, right?
No, I don't want. No, I don't want.
I have no idea.
You think I want to be? You think I want to be Chris Russo hacking names up like that? Not happening. No.
Hey, cut it out. Well, yeah, come on. I know what I'm doing over here. No, quit it, Dan. Hey, come on.
No.
Hey, come on now. Come on. Hey, up.
Clemente or Banks? Your thoughts?
Right. Yes. Look, nobody. What's the over under?
96.5.
That's over. I think he's going to. Look, all he needs is to break one. And then if he could catch 5, if he could break one for 60, 70, it's worth the bet. It depends what the money line is. What's the money line on that, Anselm?
I don't know what the money line is on that. I just know the
Okay.
over-under on that there. Hey, give me some update on what's going on with the Chicago Stadium talk. What's going on with this thing here? So wait a minute. Before you go here, get this. So we have Chicago talking about moving. Now we have Kansas City moving out of Arrowhead too. So the NFL, they don't give a crap about their fan base.
No.
They just want new ballparks built. So Chicago, what's the latest on this thing?
All right, here's my take on it. The rumor is we've heard from on AM 1000.
We're moving back to St. Louis.
All I'm going to tell you is they did this in the 90s. They threatened to move to Gary, Indiana. Okay? That's like me, if you ever saw the movie No Country for Old Men, inviting Sugar in for a cup of coffee, okay? That was going to be unbelievable because it smelled, it stunk. They put the riverboats out there for gambling. Nobody goes there. Now, the Hallis family wants tax breaks. These were normal people that inherited a football team because Muggs Hallis died, okay? They had nothing. Now they have a franchise worth $8.9 million. They want to build their stadium, but they're also going to build an entertainment thing, but they want help with the property taxes. Well, the politicians are going, what? And I hate both sides, okay? The Bears and the politicians.
Yeah.
So this is one of those rare occasions I'm riding the fence, but for all the wrong reasons. And yeah, so all I'm going to say is that, okay, they have beautiful land in Arlington Heights, where Arlington Park Racetrack was. It's bigger than where Sci-Fi is. And they got all the infrastructure in the world, but they can't get a tax break in Illinois.
That's the dog track, right?
Now, horse track.
Horse track, okay.
Where the Arlington Million was and
Okay.
stuff like that. Beautiful. Dick Duchess, one of the great palaces. They knocked it down. The Bears bought it, and they've been sitting on it for 3 years. Like, what are you doing? And they've had to pay property taxes, and they want breaks, or they want it frozen because they've been too slow on the draw. So I understand they want tax breaks, but on the other hand, you're building an entertainment center too.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have other things, and you're going to pocket all the dough. Okay. For the most part. My deal is that they should probably redo Soldier Field, but knock it completely down. Incorporate the columns, because I think if they move to Hammond, Indiana, it's 36 miles from Chicago, folks. Learn from the Washington Redskins and Commanders.
Yeah.
They moved from Washington to Landover, Maryland.
That's right. It was a nightmare.
And it if you listen to people that were fans,
Yeah.
they lost their identity.
No
They
question.
lost everything.
Hey, Mike, the 49ers have lost their identity.
Oh,
by
the
moving
Super
out of
Bowl.
Candlestick and going to Santa Clara. You
Yeah.
listen to the people that are 49er fans.
You
have lost almost all of those great fans from the back.
and I would ask the Chicago Bears this: how many? Wait, people don't want to go to White Sox Park anymore. Now you got to drive another 45 miles. If you're a season ticket holder on the north side, you got to drive all the way through town into Indiana, and they're going to build a concert venue there. Yeah, just where I want to go on a Friday night, Hammond. Okay, let me tell you something. Hammond, Lake County. This is nothing against them. They're going to throw the kitchen sink at them. New stadiums, like Dan said, are not for the people. They're for owners.
That's right.
Enhanced, but they're going to kill a lot of their fan base. They're the pride and joy of Illinois, not Indiana.
Yeah.
But I mean, am I going to go see?
No.
I don't care. You're not driving to Hammond, okay? Even if they have a casino, there's 10 casinos before you get to Hammond. You're not going there.
There's no way folks from Chicago are driving to that.
Okay.
No way.
So I'll give you this. This is, folks, gather around the campfire here. Uncle Mike. Okay. There's 500,000 people in Lake County. That's the county where Hammond is. There's 5 million in Cook. So the Bears want to go where the lesser people are for some tax breaks? They'd go to Arlington. You know how much the Bears would be if they moved to Arlington? A lot more than if they moved to Hammond.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're in the middle of the desert.
Mike, what would happen to Soldier Field if they end up moving.
I think
And they
they'd
move
probably
out.
keep it. I think they might keep it, but they've been known to destroy historic things there. So it wouldn't surprise me if you know, it just when I was a
Mike,
kid,
could Chicago hold another NFL city?
Absolutely.
Another NFL team?
in a heartbeat. I wish I had. Look, if I had enough money to buy the Bears, I would have been digging at Arlington Park already. You know, I'm worth $9 billion, and I wasn't worth diddly until I got this team, and I'm going to haggle over property taxes and try to raise. My mother's 96 and has a building. They're hitting her pocketbook. I mean, that's just what's wrong with both sides, and the taxes are high in Illinois. But it's two bad apples. They used to say one bad apple spoiled a whole bunch. If you even think about moving to somewhere else and you're the Chicago Bears, they don't give a rat's ass about you. What are you going to put in, right?
No. I mean,
they're going to be the Chicago Bears, just like I know. Look, the Meadowlands has been good for the Giants, and I think you would agree.
The problem that you're going to get there, and the problem that the San Diego Chargers fans, the old ones, now the Los Angeles Chargers,
you're sharing.
But Mike, what happened was when they initially, because if you remember right, they moved out of Yankee, then they went up to the Yale Bowl until the Meadowlands were built. What happened was it was generational, where that early part were saying this: I'll never drive to Newark to go to Giants and Jets after the Jets went straight. Never. Those people died off.
Yeah.
Now everybody goes and drives to the Meadowlands. So that's what the NFL, the same thing with San Diego Charger fans. If Charger fans are like this, I'll never drive up there. They probably won't, to go up to SoFi. But what the NFL is looking at is this: if I get a brand new stadium, the net wealth of the McCaskey family is automatically going to increase, whether it's in Hammond or whether or not it's in Chicago. They don't give a shit, Mike, because you know why? They want to host Democrat national conventions. They want to host WWE, Super Bowls, all that shit.
But hasn't this helped even awaken them? First of all, the fact that it's in Santa Clara and nobody cares about this Super Bowl.
Nobody cares.
I went to 17. I was on Radio Row the second year there when there was 12 stations. And I went to 17 straight Radio Rows, and they were filled with athletes. But there was a group of us. There wasn't 500 tables.
What year was that, Mike?
I think 93, 94.
93, 94.
I went from 93 to 90 to 2005, 6, something like that.
How many radio stations was there in 93? Because I wasn't doing it then.
It was 12. There was 12 of us. I wanted to be the first to go to the combine, and because the hotel's connected. And my buddy got sick, and we ended up not going. And then now it's a big deal. Now they do it, but I wanted to do that at the beginning. I wanted to be on Radio Row for the Super Bowl. I thought it was important because I loved all the players.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. I mean,
what do you make how the game has grown and the Super Bowl, how it's grown? You know, you
can grow wide.
I tell you all the time, you're one of the guys that really like, you know, we had Howard Eskin and Angelo Cataldi on.
Tremendous.
And so, but for guys like you, like when you see the Super Bowl and how it's grown right now, you get 8,000 people getting credentials to talk in the pit now to the athletes back in the day. Now you have two. By the way, Mike, you got 2-hour drive in between both. They're using the San Jose Convention Center and they're using the Marconi Center downtown in San Francisco.
I don't miss it, Dan.
Like with the traffic, I lived there. It's like 2.5 hours to get.
I heard it's a nightmare, Dan.
It's a nightmare, they said.
They don't care. Goodell don't care. That's the way it is. Look, I go back to when Namath was in a lounge chair by the pool, laying around telling everybody I'm going to kick the shit out of the Colts. And they're laughing at him. And there's like 12 reporters gathered around him. I remember when Al Hurt played the halftime at the first Super Bowl, 35-10. This is the gift that God has given me, that I've been there from the beginning, which is cool because I can hear people talk about it and I'll tell them, well, no, I remember when the Super Bowl was on 2 channels. When they had it on 5.
Right. It was on NBC. It was on NBC and ABC.
I went back and forth.
CBS.
It was unbelievable. You had Kurt Gowdy.
Yeah.
You know, you had different announcers. It was magical, and it was actual hatred for the two leagues at that time.
Big time.
Green Bay versus Kansas City. They mocked each other, old men, the hammer, and they knocked the crap out of each other. And the Packers won 35-10. But then look, I grew to love the AFL, even though I was an NFL guy. But Gale Sayers told me they came after him. They came after Ditka. They came after Butkus.
Yep.
I mean, they came after the big boys. That was a well-armed army, the AFL. And when they
Lombardi said that when the first Super Bowl, and he was asked, somebody went to him, I think it was Wellington Mara, and then the commissioner of Pete Rozelle. They went to him and said, "This ain't just a game.
No,
you can't lose this game."
Well, and they couldn't, and I didn't want them to lose. We took it personal, sort of like Ali and Frazier. We had the greatest rival. They talk about rivalries now. How about that? Huh? Ali and Frazier, the greatest 3 fights ever. Guys that wanted to kill each other. And then the AFL, NFL, until the merger was signed and Joe Namath helped make it even more legit by kicking the crap and calling his own plays. I'm in Radio Row. And I'm looking down, and they used to bring the guests up. And I look up, and Joe Namath is sitting in front of me.
I know.
I'm like this. I was like this. I'm a grown-ass man. But I was a kid when Joe Namath was the coolest guy.
Let me give you one last thing here, Mike. Let me give you my Namath story. So
go ahead, kid. I love you.
So I went up to a football camp in Quinnipiac, Connecticut, that he used to have his full contact. And I go up there. Joe Namath is the Joe Namath all sports camp. I went up there. Guys were helping. Guys like all the people that he had there. Phil Villapiano was coaching us. All these guys from the past during that decade. I told him, man, hey, I'm a Joe Namath guy, man. I graduated from your football camp and went on to the National Football League. And he was so thrilled.
Wait, if you look, this is a boomer. Uncle Boomer talking. That's right.
No, it's White Smoke.
White Smoke is talking to you. Yeah. Hold on. I got to fix a toupee. I got a little loose. Wait a minute.
White Smoke.
My heroes were Joe Frazier, Ali. Those guys that came to play. Those guys, they're both you. Why can't you like both? They were good. They were both great. Although I was more Joe Frazier, but Joe Namath is the coolest athlete,
dude.
And there'll never be another one. And what? Huh? Did all these youngsters getting back at me? I said Namath the other day, most important guy, maybe top 5 in the National Football League. And people go, "Oh, well, look! I looked at his stats." Seriously, folks. I feel like sometimes I know there should be an entrance exam even for X. Okay, and if you want to talk sports, you got to know what Joe Namath meant to the league. Joe Namath called he was an 18-point underdog, called the game, told everybody that they had to win that game to merge the league.
Yep.
People say it was fixed. It wasn't fixed. Don Shula didn't want to lose that game. They got beat because a fixed game is filled with feigned punches. There was ass kicking going on there, man. Johnny Sample, Matt Snell, Joe Namath, unbelievable. He's a hero. And then he, even on national TV, he tells a chick he wants to kiss her. You know what I mean? So,
Mike, I'm going to leave it on that, White Smoke.
All right, White Smoke. I love it. I love White Smoke halftime special.
Hey,
White Smoke.
Sure
I'm going to be smoking a cigar, blowing smoke rings.
What Bad Bunny's on stage, White Smoke's going to be.
Wait, are you going to watch Bad Bunny? I'm going to go, but are you going to watch Bad Bunny?
No, I'm not doing it. No. I'll be drinking Coronas by then.
Hey, let me ask you, how long does it really take you, Danny? Seriously, we all got a breaking point. How many beers does it take before somebody says something and you just break into a rage?
Let's see. Boy,
I
gotta say about 6.
Really? I would think it would be 10 or 11.
Nah, because I drink. See, I don't drink Bud. I drink Coronas. So the Corona gets me there a little quicker. So if somebody starts going sideways on me,
That's it.
I break glass.
Oh, I get where you're talking. Somebody
I don't like to break glass because I'm a pacifist now.
You are.
Yes.
I saw some of your video. I seen some of your videos on the motorcycle. Friendly sort.
Mike, I will catch you. Mike's white.
Tell Zander I'll be on
him.
time. I know it's a bit. Look, and I love this station. Tell Zander I'll be on time.
We got you here. So I was late. You're late. Now we're good. I will catch you next week, Mike.
I'm just glad he's got hair. I was worried.
You didn't know he had hair, huh?
He always has a hat on. But he's a young guy.
He is. All right, brother.
Right.
I'll see you next week, my friend.
All right. I can't get all right. I finally aligned it. See you later.
You got it, my friend. That is Mike North, White Smoke. All right, let us take a time out here and pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason, with over $30 billion recovered. Morgan & Morgan is the number one injury law firm for a reason, folks. It's because they win. Family-owned, family-run. There is no other place like Morgan & Morgan. Nobody compares to what John Morgan and Ultima Morgan have made here for over 25 years defending families across this country. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound love 529 and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Going to be a heck of a ball game on Super Bowl 60. So before the legendary Philly Godfather joins us, I'm going to give you my takeaways. What do you guys have going into this game? Who do you like in this game? You see what the points are here. 45.5, and it's 4.5. Still sitting there at the Seahawks being the favorites heading into Santa Clara. Now, I'm going to make a point to you about this game. I think this game has a chance to be close for a bit. And then, in my opinion, I think Seattle is the physical team. They are. They're a physical football team. And I don't know, quite frankly, yet how the Patriots are going to look heading into this ballgame. Now, I'll say this to you, and I'm going to say this to our friend Philly Godfather here in a second. Drake May's completion percentage, people may look at it and go like this, well, it's low. As I brought it up to Zander and Mike North, well, look at the last two defenses that he played against. He played against Denver and he played against the Houston Texans. Those are two of the best defenses in pro football. And let's be candid here. By the way, if Bo Nix plays in that AFC title game, I think Denver probably makes it. All right. So without further ado, our friend, the legendary Philly Godfather, here on Booked, my friend. I am looking forward to it, and I am looking forward to being involved in it. He joins us here now. How you doing, bro? How's everything rolling, man?
It's freezing cold in Philly, probably one of the coldest days of the year, but it's not colder than the relationship between the Eagles and Stoutland over there. What's going on?
What do you make of that, man? What do you make of all that? I mean, and how he was shown the door. I mean, you know, I've been calling it today a firing in a way because they probably gave him an offer he could refuse. And that's what they probably wanted him to do. Hey, look, we're going to take the run game responsibilities away from you. And then they turn around and they go like this. Hey, we want you to coach the O-line. And he said, screw that. I'm out of here. What'd you take of this story here this week?
I mean, it's a little scary for Eagles fans. Writing might be on the wall. And then you got rumors like Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson looking to retire. I don't think that happens because those guys make so much money. And, you know, nobody hates money. But you never know. They had big issues on their offensive line last season. And that guy helped build that line. When did he come? 2013. He's been here for a while. It's hard to replace guys like that. They've been here. They know all the ins and outs. It's hard, man. So it didn't end well. I know that much.
Who do you think it impacts more, Hurts or Nick, losing Jeff Stoutland?
I think it impacts both of them the same. I mean, you know, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Has it impacted them so much that the market has moved on this team? Absolutely not. They still have the fourth best odds to win the Super Bowl for next year. I think the Seattle's first, the Rams, and Buffalo, then the Eagles. So overall in the market, nothing's happened. But, you know, we're going to see what happens on the field this season. It's definitely going to impact an offensive line that already had issues last season. I think it was the biggest problem last year and why they went one and done in the playoffs. So they're going to have some problems moving forward. It might be the writing on the wall.
How about this? Is the writing on the wall for A.J. Brown here? Now, you know, I mean, they obviously want to throw the football more, and they want to, like, try to spread it out. They want to do a passing offense here. Does that entice him? Because I'll tell you what, if you listen to the people in Philly, a lot of people think it's 50-50 whether or not he's going to be dealt. You listen to people outside of Philly, they say it's more 70-30. He's gone. Where are you in this here with A.J. Brown coming back in 26?
I hear different things about his contract, which makes it a little difficult to move him. But I think he wants to go. I mean, he wants to go back to his old coach. I mean, New England has had so much success. Imagine A.J. Brown on that football team next season. Another year for Drake May, young quarterbacks who's only going to get better and better. Vrabel's one of the better coaches in the NFL, and he proved it again this year. Got the coach of the year. I think he wants to go. I don't know, you know, financially, I don't know how the contracts are set up, if it's that easy to get rid of him. But I think from what I'm hearing, and I got guys close to him, he's kind of fed up with everything.
Were you shocked Stafford won the MVP, and do you think he comes back as the favorite next year to win the most valuable player, or is that Josh Allen?
I think Josh Allen's back next season as the favorite. But, you know, I mean, Stafford, he had a hell of a season, and we were talking about all year he's the MVP. And the voting was close, actually. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at the raw numbers, no one played better than he did this season. strength of schedule, everything about the teams he faced. He was the MVP. Next season is going to be a little more difficult. It's hard to win it back to back, but he's got a shot.
All right, let's get to the game. We have some prop bets too that we're going to ask you about heading into this game here. So let's go. It's 4.5 right now. Seahawks are favored in the ball game against the Patriots. 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern time will be the kickoff for this ball game. Who do you like in the Super Bowl 60?
This is hard to call. The line opened up. Actually, the look-ahead line was 3.5 after Seattle, beat the Rams and covered the Vegas number. Went up. They reopened at 4.5, shot up to as high as 5.5, and then there was some resistance. There was some sharp money that took plus 5.5 on the Patriots, pushed it back down to 4.5 where it's at right now. The total opened up at 46.5, dropped down to as low as 45 at some shops. So there's also some sharp money on the under. But if you look at the bet splits, it seems like the whole world is betting the Seattle Seahawks early. Right around 75% of the action in the U.S. and the offshore market is on Seattle. So that concerns me a little bit. But again, 10 times the amount of money comes in on game day. So, we might see some late money coming in on the Patriots. This game's hard to call. Both teams are really healthy. You look at their overall health score, probably the healthiest both teams have been all season. So there's really no edge there. The Seahawks team, they were number one in DVOA on offense and defense all season. But more importantly, they're number one in DVOA in the playoffs this year. And over the last 12 years, any team that was ranked number one in the playoffs in DVOA went on to win the Super Bowl 9 out of 12 times. So I guess I'm leaning Seattle money line. 4.5 points is a lot of points in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
13 of the last 18 Super Bowls, the underdog has covered the Vegas spread. And if you're a little superstitious, the Patriots are wearing white uniforms. I think 16 out of the last 21 Super Bowl winners have worn white uniforms. So maybe that plays some kind of superstitious role. Maybe it's a visual thing. I'm not sure. But how can you not like Seattle here? They got more weapons on offense, in my opinion. They got JSN, they got Walker, Cooper Kupp, they got Barner. And if you look at their odds to score a touchdown, they have 4 of the 6 highest odds of anyone on the football field for the Super Bowl. And I think JSN's like at minus 195 to score a touchdown, and Walker's at minus 110, and every other player on the board is plus money. So they definitely got, in my opinion, have the better weapons on offense. Defense, kind of a wash for me. I think both teams are really, really good. What scares me, if you're looking to back New England here, is they got to shake the offensive line. They've been shaking all year, and in the playoffs, they've given up 15 sacks. I think 5 in each round. So I know they played some of the better defenses, but still, if you can't protect your quarterback, you got big problems. And now you're going up against a Seattle defense that's one of the better at rushing the quarterback. Seattle's defense does have a chink in the armor. They don't cover tight ends well. I think they're ranked 29th in the league in allowing the most yards towards tight ends. I think right around 67 yards per game they're giving up to tight ends this season. So, Hunter Henry's probably going to have a big game for the Patriots. What else? It's tough, man. Right now, I haven't bet the game yet. I'm going to try and wait as long as possible to place a wager on the side. I bet a bunch of prop bets. I bet Hunter Henry over 3.5 receptions. I bet Hunter Henry plus 240 to score a touchdown. I took a long shot. I took that kid from Washington, Jack Westover, at 45-1 to grab a touchdown as well. I think he gets 1 or 2 targets in the end zone. If he catches the ball, you might get a big payday there. What else did I take? They got 2 great defenses, so I don't think either team's going to score 30 or more points. I laid 130 on that. There's some of the prop bets I bet for the Super Bowl so far, Dan.
How about this on the over-under on this here, 45.5? Where you leaning on that right now? You think that this is going to be high scoring, low scoring? 2 defenses heading into this game. Obviously 2 defensive head football coaches. But here's something too. Last night, Josh McDaniels wins the assistant of the year. I've been saying it all year. I think he's one of the greatest offensive coordinators in pro football. And he's proven it again. He's back in the game. He's got Drake May. And also you got Clint Kubiak now who's going to be the head football coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And you got 2 good coordinators. You got 2 good defensive-minded guys. You think this is got a chance to be a low score? Do you think it goes over that 45.5?
Man, I'd probably look to play the under in the first half than the full game. The line opened to 46.5. There's some sharp money on the under, pushed to 45.5. You got two teams that run at a snail's pace when they run plays. I think Seattle's at 28.6 seconds, and New England's at 28.8. I think it's like the fourth slowest paced football team in the league, the Patriots. So that tends to lean towards the under. They're both I think they're ranked number 1 and 2 in points allowed. So under the first half, I like that better than full game, but I could see the game going under. I actually I bet another prop. I bet both teams to make a field goal over 32 yards at minus 125 because of their defenses, because they are that good. So I think both teams make some stops and they kick some field goals here. But yeah, I can see the game going under. Dan.
How much money, Mike, is bet on this here, in your opinion, when it comes to the Super Bowl? How much, this is the biggest day, isn't it? This is the biggest day in sports betting, or is it the tournament, NCAA tournament? Is it more money generated because it's a longer period of time because it's 2 weeks, or is this the biggest weekend in sports betting, this Super Bowl?
This is the single biggest in the U.S. market. Obviously, soccer's bigger, but the Super Bowl is the biggest one-day event for the U.S. market. March Madness probably brings in more money. They're expecting $1.7 billion to be wagered in the U.S. market. I think it's going to be closer to $2 billion. But around the world, I don't know. It could be double, triple that. It's a lot of money being put on the game here.
Let's do some props here. Drake May, over 223.5 passing yards.
Man, I think under. And I think he throws an interception. I laid 140 that he throws an interception.
Walker, the running back, Kenneth Walker for the Seattle Seahawks. Over under 71.5.
Man, it's right there. I didn't take a position on that. There's some sharp money that went under 77 or 76, so it's moved a lot. Patriots got a pretty good run defense in the playoffs. I think they're giving up like 3.3 yards per attempt. I would lean under.
Sam Darnold, 228.5 passing yards.
Man. I'd say over. Over.
Cooper Kupp, over under 29.5 receiving yards.
He ain't what he used to be. It's right there. I guess I'd say under.
JSN, 96.5 receiving yards.
Under. I already bet that. I went under.
You think he goes under?
Yeah.
Drake May runs for more than 37.5 yards.
It's been over adjusted. He's got a little shoulder injury. I was watching a video of him, and he's right hand dominant. And when he's speaking, he's talking with his left hand. He's not even moving the right side. His shoulder's popping up. I don't know if they're going to let him loose. I'd say under. Seattle's got, I think they're one of the best run defenses in the league, don't they? Number one.
Absolutely. All right. MVP in the ball game. The guys that you would pick as the MVP. Who would you like on the Seattle side? Darnold?
I mean, he's the favorite at plus 120, and then you got Drake May at plus 240. If you want to take a long shot, DeMarcus Lawrence at 90-1. He causes some turnovers. You put $50 on him, you might win 90 times your money. So I bet Lawrence to have a sack in the first half and the second half. You get 10-1 on your money on that. So
how about?
Go ahead.
No, how about JSN winning the MVP?
I think you would get 6-1 on that.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets it, it's going to go to Darnold. I mean, he's passing him the football. Unless they have some design runs, unless Darnold throws 2 or 3 picks. I wouldn't take him. No, I wouldn't take him.
The coin toss. Who wins the coin toss? They got some wild ones here. Who wins the coin toss? Seattle or New England?
Man, let me flip a. There's no, you're laying 110 to win 100. If you flip a coin 50 times, you're asked out. You lose money every time. It's negative expectation. So If I had to guess, I said the Patriots have been lucky all year. Both bounced their way. They faced the cheapest quarterbacks in the NFL in the playoffs, and Justin Herbert had a broken hand. Their offensive line was all banged up. I think they used like 28 different guys on their offensive line this year. They go up against C.J. Stroud, who was horrible. They go up against they've been the luckiest team all. I'd say the Patriots win the coin toss because they've been lucky all year. I don't know.
How good has the year been in betting in the NFL this year? I mean, when you watch the NFL now and how much they've invested in sports gaming now and how they're involved in it, I mean, there's no doubt that they're partners in this thing. Has it gone up every year over the last 5 years, and how much money is being wagered on these games?
Yeah, I mean, since they legalized it. I mean, it's always been going up. It built the NFL back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. There were some really bad teams, and the only way to watch those games is if you had a couple bucks on them. And, there was a bookie on every corner and every bar and every bodega back then. And the mob, they would edge off to the mob. They were all the big edge houses, Kansas City, New York. But, yeah, I mean, it built the NFL. It built this monster. And for years they acted like they wanted nothing to do with it, but they knew what was going on. I mean, guys were fixing games from Alex Karras back in the 60s, right? Like, everyone was trying to get take a bite of that forbidden apple. There's so much money involved. I don't know. Were there Rooney's bookmakers back in the 50s? You hear things. A lot of these guys were actually bookmakers that made enough money to buy these franchises. Now today they're worth 15, 20 billion. That's not happening. But now they're in bed with DraftKings. I mean, it built it built the monster.
So how, for you and your business, I mean, the NFL is the biggest business, right? I mean, compared to the other sports, them and maybe the NCAA tournament, I was saying college football, would it be in that order that it would go NFL, college football, probably then NCAA tournament, and how sports is going today when it comes to games?
College football piggybacks off the NFL, but it's the NFL and then it's March Madness. March Madness, it's so busy. There's so many. I mean, the money's just overflowing. So yeah, it's those right there. Baseball slows down a little bit. NBA, less and less. I mean, people aren't watching anymore. I can't watch it. My kids still handicapped. I let them do all the the legwork, but I can't watch those games. It's a bad product. It's a really bad product.
It absolutely is. By the way, I had Jim Calhoun on last week on my weekend show when we were on the Sports Grid show, and I was talking, and I brought up the Arizona team, and they're just a dominant team. They're a big team. They're one of the bigger teams. Can anybody stop Arizona from winning the national championship? When you look at where they are right now, I mean, it's a pretty big number right now. A lot of people like them. Michigan, UConn, Duke. Obviously, those are going to be teams. Michigan State has kind of walked back a little bit. Anybody else you like out of those top four teams, Duke, UConn, Michigan, and Arizona? Would you take those 4 teams? Would you?
Houston's going to be there. Houston's going to be there. Illinois, I took Illinois at 30-1 before the season started. Now their odds are down to like 13-1. That's a very dangerous team, very efficient basketball team. Top 10 defense, top 10 offense. That's what you're always looking for, college basketball. But again, Michigan and Arizona, man, they're going to be tough to beat. They'll end up in the Final Four. Those teams are strong.
How about Illinois?
I got Illinois at 30-1. That was my. I think I gave it out on your show before the season started. That was one of my future. I took a long shot with Virginia Tech at 500-1. I mean, if they get in, you can hedge your money. But at 500-1, they're a pretty solid basketball team. And then Vanderbilt's strong. You look at their offensive, defensive metrics, the way they play their style of basketball, But you're always looking, to take some big prices, some big underdogs, because later on in the tournament you can hedge and make some money. And I had nibbled on Michigan before the season started, small at like 12-1. I think they're down at like 3 or 4-1 now. But Arizona is the favorite as of right now.
Yeah, because we've been getting guys on like on the Sports Grid show, the college basketball guys, but that Florida team, the Gators. You think they're a dark horse team too?
Yeah, absolutely. They're good every year. I had them last year. I mean, they're one of the better teams. I think their odds are like 18-1 or 20-1. I forget what they are. Kansas is still there. Purdue's still lurking at like 21, 22-1. Iowa State, they're up there too. I think they're at 15 or 16-1. But I mean, the horses are Arizona, Michigan, Duke, Houston, and Illinois. I think they're the 5 horsemen right now.
So the book, how's it going? How's everything coming along here?
Doing great. I had a great meeting today with guys from Amazon. A lot of things are moving forward. Book sales are great. We're going to start the book tour back up when the weather breaks. The college tour, we'll be back to speaking to colleges. And that's about it, man. I bet a couple other props if you guys want to bet under 10.5 penalties. Total for the game, you got two very well-coached teams, two very disciplined teams. I think they're ranked in the top 5 or top 7 in least penalties allowed all season. They run at a slow pace, so under 10.5 penalties. What else did I bet for you guys? Over 2.5 players will throw a pass. You can get like plus 170 on that. So you might have a running back or some kind of trick play go in there, or maybe Drake May gets banged up with his shoulder and he's got to leave for a possession or two, and the third guy comes in. What else did I bet? I think that's pretty much everything, man. I think that's pretty much everything.
Dude, I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to it because, again, every year, the Super Bowl brings something new, something different. Oh, I got to ask you about Bad Bunny. Okay, I mean, does Bad Bunny, what kind of halftime show do you think Bad Bunny has? Do you think he does something or he doesn't do anything that is going to be controversial?
Oh, he's definitely doing something controversial. I just don't know if you're going to understand what he's saying. I got one more long shot if you guys want it. You ready?
Yep.
George Halani to score 2 touchdowns at 60-1, and you can bet him anytime touchdown at 6-1. I think he's going to be a little sleeper in there in that football game.
Well, here, just in case you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, White Smoke. Mike North is going to be doing a halftime show. He's going to be doing a halftime show. So I just let you know that. Make sure, tell the folks where they can find you, my friend.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Philly Godfather. The website is, I forgot my website, thephillygodfather.com. You can buy a book at phillybook.com. I'll send you out. It'll be autographed. It may take 3 to 7 business days. If you go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, it's shipped to order, but it won't be autographed. Well, you probably get it the next day. And that's about it, man. Follow me on Twitter. I give out a lot of free stuff every day. And last year we killed it. I went on last year and I said, don't be surprised if the Eagles beat that team senseless, and that's what happened. And don't be surprised this year if Seattle goes out there and beats this team senseless.
Yeah. Make sure you listen to the Greek. All right. Listen to the Greek. Where is he? Make sure you guys there. That's my audition right there. Where's the Greek?
You like that little video, didn't you? You like that little video?
I loved it, man.
You look good, man. Harley, going check out.
Man. I love that stuff there. My friend, we will catch you over the weekend, too. Thank you so much for everything you do for us, man. Thank you so much, man.
Good luck, guys.
You got it. That is the legendary Philly Godfather. Absolutely great stuff. Make sure you guys check him out. All right, let me pay some bills here. Number 1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason is our friends at Morgan & Morgan. I told you about the family in Pennsylvania, and I've been telling you about that story for the last couple months here. Family ended up getting initially $650,000. They ended up getting $26 million in settlement. There's a family down in Florida that was initially offered $350K. They ended up getting $12 million in a settlement. This is family owned. There's no other injury law firm like Morgan & Morgan. No one's like it. And the reason is because they win. Folks, do me a favor. Family owned, family run. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the jet setters and the high rollers, to the shot takers and the tastemakers. Welcome to the viewfinders, the thrill seekers, and the night owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Stills, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys here on a Super Bowl Friday. 28-21. I got Seattle in this thing. I think they covered a 4.5. Here, for me, I think Darnold goes over 228.5. Drake May, I think he's under 223.5. Hunter Henry, I think he's over 37.5. JSN, I think he's over 96.5 receiving yards. I get Drake May running I think Drake May's going to run a lot in this game because I think Seattle's going to put pressure on him. And I think Mike McDonald's going to put a lot of pressure on Drake May, and I think he's going over 37.5. I don't think he's going to have a lot of passing yards, but I think he's going to have a lot of rushing yards. So I got 28-21. I got Seattle winning the game. If Bo Jackson played today, NFL instead of the early 90s, that injury would be fixed. Yes. If Bo Jackson's the best running back and the best player I've ever seen. I played against him collegiately and professionally. And there's nobody like Bo. I saw Bo going around the doing interviews. He really doesn't do that. Like, he's not a guy who goes out and does a lot of interviews. And if people remember, like, if you're a young guy, okay, and you're a young person, you don't remember the great campaign. Nike's campaign back in the day, Bo knows. Some of you guys that are older should tell some of the younger guys, that was one of the greatest campaigns. They had this commercial that Gretzky would go, Bo knows hockey, and he would shake his head. It was funny. But they'd have all the great athletes from all the other sports, and they would all go, Bo knows. Bo Jackson, one of the greatest athletes of all time. It's one of the truly greatest like promotions ever. I have Barry Sanders and Peyton ahead of Bo. Bo Jackson was better athlete than both those guys. Peyton, in my opinion, I talked about Walter Payton. Oh, by the way, Bobby Wagner winning the Walter Payton Award last night was so awesome. I thought that was just fantastic that he won that. I love the story about his mom. And I told the story about how I and my family have a great relationship with the Payton family. And we go back a long ways. I've told you guys a couple times the fact that I played against Walter Payton in his final year as an NFL player in '87. He came to Tampa Stadium, and I remembered, somebody brought it up earlier this morning that in that final game, Hugh Culverhouse, the owner of the Buccaneers, I remember it was my first professional football game. I played against the Chicago Bears, and I played against the Payton Bears. And we honored him. And right before the game, I remember we gave him Tampa loved Walter Payton. Every time he came down and played against the Buccaneers, because back in the day, I don't know if Yale's in here, but people don't remember, Yale, that the Buccaneers played in a division called the NFC Central Division. And it was called the Black and Blue Division. Because, you played in that division, man, you had to pad up because you were playing some really tough football games. The Vikings were tough. The it was made up of the Lions, the Bucks, Lions, Bucks, I believe the Saints, Lions, Bucks, Saints, and Bears. I think the Saints were in that division too, I believe. I can't remember I think the Atlanta Falcons were in the NFC East. I think they moved the Cardinals out. No, because I played against the Cardinals. Believe this or not, the Cardinals used to be in the NFC East because the last year they played in St. Louis, the Cardinals, I played against them. So they were still in St. Louis before they moved to Phoenix. It was the last year that they played in St. Louis. Then the following year they played in Phoenix. The Cowboys have always been in the East. The Cowboys, when they first were initially brought in, from what I understand, I talked to Tex about this. I think back in the day, get this, the East was set up as this. Was the Giants, the Eagles. Giants, Eagles, Redskins, and the Cardinals. Even when the Cardinals went to Phoenix, they stayed in the East until realignment. I can't remember when realignment happened, but they were in the East for a long time. The Phoenix Cardinals were in the they were in the NFC East for a while. Try that one, all the traveling that they had to do. Then, of course, they moved it to the NFC West after realignment. But yeah, that was wild. They were in the East. Shields, you think the teams will ever be moved to different divisions again? Depends on what happens in Europe. Like if they put a team in Europe, then it could change the divisions again. Or if you had more expansion. I don't know if you're ever going to see more expansion in the NFL. I know that they're talking about trying to put a team in the St. Louis area. And they were talking about maybe putting another team, like maybe potentially in San Antonio. But I don't know. I mean, I doubt they're going to make it. That's why I asked Mike, because they were talking about it with the commissioner. Like, could a city like Chicago have another team in it? I mean, Chicago, I think they're the third biggest city. Could they have another football team like an AFC team? And it depending on, again, if you're going to move the teams or not. So Utah Mormons. Yeah. Guys, have yourselves a great, great weekend. I got Seattle. I got them 28-21. I think that Seattle and Sam Darnold, I think Sam Darnold wins the most valuable player award. I think that you're going to see a difference in how they change the way they look at the quarterback position, because you can win a Super Bowl with a quarterback like Sam Darnold. So that's going to change the narrative, and I can't wait to see what happens next week with the Philadelphia Eagles. Holy cow. By the way, I think the next stories to drop are going to be what happens to AJ and what do you do with Saquon Barkley. Have yourselves a fabulous weekend. I will see you on Monday going 2 to 6. Have a great Super Bowl Sunday. A lot to talk about on Monday. We'll see you then, and we'll catch you on the flip side.